time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Glassbreakers Guild and our second campaign, the Valley Campaign, Chapter 3. So, we are short some players tonight, but we are going to press ahead with what I have planned for the main campaign, which we'll see how this goes tonight. This might be a short night. It might drag on the whole night. Who knows? So we are definitely here to have some fun and hope you guys are as well. A few quick reminders. As we are getting started tonight, as always, all of our video content can be found on our YouTube channel. Be sure you go out there. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so that you will always know when we put new content up. There is a wealth of content on our YouTube channel. It is all of our full playthroughs, not edited down, much to the chagrin of my players and everyone else. They are the full episodes there, so you can go back and watch any of the shenanigans that are your favorite and tell us about them the next time they pop up on your screen. We do also have some one-shots out there. Danny has run a couple of campaigns, one that is currently ongoing. We've had some discussions about D&D and creating custom content for D&D. We've also done stuff that is not D&D related. It's all out there. Anything we've done video-wise is on our YouTube channel, so go check it out. We do also have a Discord server where you can always find our latest schedule for the streaming week. We are running 2 series currently. This one here, the main campaign, our Glassbreakers Guild, which is our live campaign. We do also run on Sundays, most Sundays, pre-recorded sessions. So that's content that we have played previously and are rebroadcasting to you guys. We just don't have it in us to do 2 live shows a week, but we are doing the pre-recorded stuff on Sundays. Both nights we are running at 6:30 Mountain Time. I leave that up to you to determine when that is in your own time zone, but we would love to have you here for both of those things. If for any reason our schedule changes, because life happens, you can always be sure of what's coming up in the next week by checking out that Discord server. I think that's going to do it for me for announcements here at the top of the show. This is the point of the evening where I turn it over to our illustrious cast to do a recap of what went on previously. And Steven, with his hands full of food and mouth
Natalie
full
and
of
Steph
food,
not here, you're just not fast enough.
it is now Steven's turn. So Steven, take it away.
Okay, I'm gonna need some help to remember where the delineation between games was. Where did we start, and then I can go from there.
It's cute that you think I know.
Can you help me out where we started?
We started with everybody deciding what they did for the 2 days of intermission. So
Okay.
at the very start, it was
You and him were
Steph and
Bobby.
Daniel looking for Dels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's being fancy now. Goodness.
What is this?
I've only done that side of the table.
Wow.
Look at this technology.
Okay, so we began, as was said, figuring out where we'd been. We'd had a 2 days break. I guess I can start with myself. So, Rain spent most of his time floating around with Lyra to the various markets in town, in the capital, as she picked up various and sundry cooking ingredients. I hesitate to call them real ingredients because she was looking for the weirdest things she could find, which she then decides to cook with. And that was actually most of how we spent our time. I also sent out feelers to sort of find out how big the dome over the castle, is it a castle or is it more like a palace?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Yeah. Wherever the Empress
Castillo.
lived isn't alive, whatever. and it appeared that the dome covered the whole place. I tried to get close, and there were guards from the city that had blocked off all of the main access to the Empire's capital palace thing. We also had a heist going on that ended up somehow successful, despite several setbacks, with Killian and... Remind me of your characters.
Lucas.
Lucas, thank you. Killian and Lucas were committing a heist to steal some of the Apellian Order's squid ink that could be used as a magical ink for copying spells down into a grimoire. Castian, what were you doing?
I was helping them with logistics.
Oh, that's right. You provided a safe house, but you weren't actively involved. You were running your business, which makes sense. Castian provided a potential safe house for this heist, although, to the best of my knowledge, it has not been used as of yet.
No, we still need to process it. So.
The heist picked up a lot more than its original target. A full cartload of supplies of unknown quantity and quality and consistency and stuff.
Currently in my back room.
Mm-hmm.
He's got.
I mean, currently it's in a box.
he's
in
gonna
my
find some
backpack.
notes. So.
But
And then we
In
had
a whole lot of bottom sea.
Simi, who was given a missive telling her that there was a missing noble?
A merchant's daughter.
Essentially a
Daughter,
noble
yeah.
for what the
Yeah.
city has become.
D smooth hands.
Ew.
Yeah.
D's nuts. D Smooth Hands is missing.
D. It's D smooth hands. There's no E's.
And was gathering information about that from her potential fiance. As it turns out, she's been distracted of late, and we've sort of potentially discovered that she's been pulled into some sort of a trafficking something. Although we don't have a lot of the specific details, we just know that people with tattoos took her.
every police report ever.
Yeah. We the heistees escaped without a tail, as best we can tell, but not without getting caught first and causing a ruckus and leaving a smoke grenade behind. I think that's about it. We all then met back up at Castian's place.
Well, Lucas owes me a favor.
I do owe you a favor. Yeah. And you went
to see the head of
The wizard?
somebody in the order that was over something to do with what you're dealing
Yes, I went to go talk to my contacts. I'm trying to remember what.
I might have been in the bathroom for that.
Okay, so
with. It was right at the end.
like they were the ones who sent me after D, and everybody got behind that idea because it seems like a really crap thing when a young woman just randomly goes missing.
There might have been multiple missing people.
Just the one so far, I think. But I'm trying to remember why I was going back to them specifically.
to try and get more information because they had not been giving you like a lot of information.
No, they're crap at giving actual helpful, useful information.
I guess I skipped the bar. There was the
There was
bard.
a bard.
Yeah.
The bard.
Creepy bard who gave
Creepy
you some
bard,
information.
yeah.
You discovered that you consider yourself a couple, and
Oh, yeah.
Lyra does not.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that was kind of where we left off.
Okay. Did you touch at all on the weirdness with Kazakh?
Oh yeah.
There's dragon sex cults.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
there is a
Yeah.
creepy dragon
We're
cult
We're here
that we
for
found
the
a pamphlet
cult
for.
stuff.
And they were really creepily,
The word harem was used.
yeah, they were really creepily like trying to prostrate themselves in front of Kazakh,
Yeah, it was really gross.
and
Yeah.
they almost got stabbed by a little cleric.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yep. Okay.
Lucas.
One of these days we'll all remember.
Well, that's why I had to go find my notes because that's the names. That's my notes of the names because we have new characters. So
Yeah, I got my notes. of that.
so I had to go find it. Okay. All right. So you were headed to the offices of the order.
My handler.
To your handler. Okay. It does. So you're changing into your official robes.
I mean, I would assume so.
Your
yeah.
robes of
No,
office.
just go in there and blow your cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So it is late in the day as you're making your way up there to do this. The chapter house for the order, the cloister for the order in Costas is it's on sort of that high ground northern plateau, which is just up the hill from where your shop is. So it's sort of the northwestern part of the city. You don't know it, but it's actually not all that far from Castian's safe house. He, having been in the city and set up the safe house, for sure knows that your safe house is basically right in the shadow of the Apollyon Order cloister.
Yeah.
But it is late in the day, and the shadows are sort of they're lengthening as the sun goes down, as the day winds to a close. You do see the lamplighters out lighting lamps down the city streets, and as you approach the gates of the cloister, outside it's fairly quiet, but inside it's like somebody kicked over an anthill.
Surprise, surprise.
And there's like city guards with the order emblems on their chests all over the place.
Important to remember, you don't know it was us that stole anything.
Oh, that's right.
You were not there when we got back.
Wait,
so
didn't I saw...
You saw us, you saw me, climbing on the ceiling or across the building with him, but you were not there when we got to them and told them what we had done.
You don't know what we've done.
So
I
you
know
we
you've
might
done
have we might have
something.
been doing something.
Yeah, but so you do not know that the theft, if it comes up in your conversation, is our fault.
Plausible deniability.
So if you decide to investigate said theft, you don't know who did it yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the cloister does look like an anthill has been kicked over. There are city guards with the obvious emblem of the order on their chest, like all over the place, talking with mid to high level. Well, actually, they're talking to pretty much everybody, but it seems to start sort of mid-level officials. A lot of them seem to be tied to... They are people you would recognize as being tied to the logistics arm of the order. Trade goods, things of that nature. So you are aware that it seems to be leaning that direction. How do you react? What do you do?
At this particular moment, this is not my circus. These are not my monkeys.
Okay.
Whether or not they are later, that's a different issue.
That is a different story for a different time.
And we'll help you track them down.
I'm sure you will.
I don't
Sure.
think that's a good idea. We shouldn't,
It'll be
let's
really
keep low.
easy.
I can
Track them
just
down.
see me. I know someone who's good at tracking people down.
You'll find them for sure.
Yeah. Happen
Okay.
to have come in contact with this detective guy.
I need to run.
Run, little one.
Okay, so you are not, so you're not like outwardly reacting to it. What's going through your brain?
Fuck this again? I feel like, especially with all of the craziness that has gone on here, this is probably not that rare of an occurrence.
I mean, no one does
How
that
how
often.
I was gonna say, how big of an oopsie did we do, Keith?
I mean, no one's ever done it before.
That part's true.
That you know of.
But like
Um,
having
we
the place
know.
crawling with a lot of investigators.
yeah, I mean, having the place,
I'm sure they've had
you
shipments waylaid.
you have seen a large number of city guards that are clearly aligned with the order before. They have almost always been more. It's almost always been more along the lines of ceremonial things like graduations or the changing of the guard kind of thing, or inspections, the ceremonial inspections from hires up or who authority figures within the order, that kind of thing. You've seen that before. You have never seen this many guards and this much activity coupled together.
In that case, I'm actually really nervous that means Rosk will be there.
Kill him.
No one's seen
We'll
us
flush
kill
him out of hiding.
several. we could flush him out of hiding.
Is he hiding?
He is currently hiding. He's the head, so
So he's trying to stay alive. and
Odds
shit?
or evens?
Odds.
Okay.
Whoopsie
Kill him
doodles.
right now.
Murder!
Make me a perception check.
Not my fault he died. He ran into my fist.
19.
19?
45 times.
So as you are entering and sort of taking the lay of the land and all of this obvious activity, your glance happens to fall across the courtyard, and you see a very distinguished figure surrounded by guards that are not just city guards. These are like clearly warriors and acting as bodyguards, and you recognize Rosk.
custodies.
He is not paying attention to you. He's not paying attention to the gate, but he is definitely, you can see purpose in his eyes, and he is walking across the courtyard towards the what you know as the sort of the headquarters of the city guard here in the Apellian Order Cloister. So always before, the city guard fell under the imperial mandate. So they had a headquarters that was somewhere else. Since the Elwick incident, you have come to find out that a large portion, again, about 2/3 of the city guard is now loyal to the order, and because of that, their leadership is all order, and that leadership has moved the city guard headquarters into the cloister.
It's not the Jedi way.
Raiden, we might have messed up.
And you can see Rosk heading towards that headquarters.
Remember where you are.
Put us in, coach.
She's gonna kind of duck around a corner to make sure that she's not seen by him. This is not where I'm going, right?
No, that's not where you're going.
Okay.
If you were going to see your contact, then you're heading to one of the other locations. You are not
Okay.
going to the city guard.
Good. That's a good thing. She's gonna catch her breath for a minute, because she's quite triggered at the moment. She's just gonna just lean against the wall and try and center, do all of her nice Master Itzat breathing.
Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Fail it, kill him. Fail it, kill him. Fail it, kill him.
16.
16?
If I fail it, he might kill me.
It's a very near thing, and it takes you several minutes to calm yourself down from that.
You done did the thing. Why'd you don't do that thing?
So once she's collected herself, she's going to swing wide, so as to not be visible from the windows,
Okay.
and go to see my contact.
All right. It's not hard to do. You've been here before. You know the way. It's a small little cell, basically, up on the second level of a building that sort of houses the administrative arm of the order. You knock on the door and are greeted with "Come in."
Go in. What's this guy's name? Or shall I create one?
Well, you gave me one, but I have
Oh,
forgotten.
did I?
Yes.
I didn't actually write it down.
Because we oopsed and thought it was something.
His name can be Rudolph Hess.
No.
No.
Or what was the name that got brought up for the game yesterday?
I must not have those notes here.
The Billy Bob Joe franchise.
This is Billy Bob Joe himself.
But you gave me a name, and I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Friedrich von
Is it
Liechtenstein.
that yellow one right under the eye
Why
bag?
did we call him?
No.
Okay.
Geoffrey Douglas.
I think I originally said that you had gotten a job from somebody else.
The name I gave you.
Yeah, the
Yes.
name that you gave me, but that wasn't the right one, and I can't recall it off the top of my head. I'll look it up and find it. But
He can be Mr. Black.
Today I call him Geoffrey.
okay, so today he is Geoffrey. I think it was a woman, but I'll have
It
to look
probably was,
I'll have
but
to
here
look
we
and
are.
see. But
It
here we
might
are.
have been a Carlisle.
Who knows? Sini, what can I do for you?
So about that job that you gave me, I've-
Which one?
Do I have one?
also gave you to find Lucas.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, which one? Yes, the thief or the missing person?
The missing person.
Thief?
That one seemed more safety centered and more of an optics problem.
I happen to agree with you, but don't forget about the thief.
Of course
we
not.
do need you to run that down.
Naturally. So I have information regarding a group of people that took her that are all heavily tattooed. And I am positive that you all have some knowledge of the different gang activity, things to that effect in town.
Tattooed.
Yes,
What sorts of tattoos?
The thing that stuck out to a lot of people was that they had very unique tattoos on their hands specifically.
Hands. Okay. Do you have any like was it geometric patterns? Was it like artistic? What was it?
They were
animal?
unhelpful with that, right? Nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah. The witnesses didn't say, just very distinctive.
Okay.
So I'd imagine if there is a large group of people that you know that have hand tattoos, it's probably them.
Well,
Unless you know a lot of different gangs that identify themselves by their distinctive hand tattoos.
Wouldn't you know it?
The hand tattoo gang.
I don't recall anything off the top of my head. I'll have to go through the archives and see what I can find. That's not ringing a bell, actually. In which case, it might be some new group that's popping up.
That's maybe true.
Yes, the last half year or so has been. There's been somewhat of a boom in crime here in the city, unfortunately. That's why we're trying to clamp down quite so hard on at least city security.
Is that what's going on?
We have to keep the city safe for the citizenry.
Any other particular reason that the entire place is swarming right now?
Yes, actually. We've had another theft, and no doubt you or one of our other agents will be tasked with tracking this particular thief down as well.
I don't know.
Something all is holy, let me see me.
Apparently they managed to stop and steal an entire wagon load of goods within seconds.
Really?
I didn't believe it myself, but there are 4 different witnesses. No, 5 different witnesses
Who said what?
who said that the entire wagon was emptied within seconds.
But none of them saw the thief?
They saw the thief, and then he or she managed to obscure the area with smoke.
Did any of them actually see me?
If they looked up, they would have seen
They
him.
reported
They were okay.
That
Okay,
they saw.
I just want to make sure we were remembering the same thing. Because I was
Yeah.
like, I was pretty sure, Keith.
Yep.
That
They reported that they saw
course.
you because they didn't want to be seen
Of
as
course.
incompetent.
Oh, sure, they could have looked up and seen him on the roof.
That's, crawling through the sky.
So,
unrelated.
so yes. So the driver, the guard on the wagon, and 3 mounted guards all managed to not be able to keep him away from the wagon, grab the goods, and get away.
You guys are gonna have to start paying us more if these things keep happening, you realize? Like, this is well beyond our pay grade.
Yes,
That would be nice.
we're hoping to clamp down on these sorts of things and keep them from happening in the first place, but
Fair.
unfortunately, in the meantime, you may be right. So, congratulations, I suppose. Look forward to perhaps a bit of a raise. I'll clear it with
Great.
the quartermasters.
Okay then. So, about all of your assignments, it is generally more helpful if you give me descriptions, locations, anything detail-wise, because I'm wasting a lot of time figuring all of that out when I could just be solving your issue. I know you're new to this particular position, but I don't know if that's true at all. But
Well, I mean, in this particular capacity, I mean, the Order was never an arm of law enforcement. So yes, this is relatively new. I mean, a year new,
yeah,
but there's still clearly some kinks to be worked out.
the more information I have in the beginning, the less time it takes to do my job. Food for thought there.
I don't see how those are related.
It's completely not relevant.
So you're saying that we need better interrogation techniques? Or at least need to know better questions to ask.
There you go. I feel like interrogation techniques would imply something different. If the people that I'm trying to find right now, if the little girl, I don't know, teenage girl that I'm trying to find right now, if her family sent this kind of ultimatum, this pressure for there to be investigation, I imagine interrogating them might be a bit much. But asking better questions, yes. I know that to you that might be splitting hairs, but
And then
there are
providing
different
you the
connotations.
Because
Yes.
they might have that, but you need them.
Yes. So like when you have conversations with these people, maybe get descriptions as best you can, get locations as best you can, and pass that on to me. It'll probably abbreviate the process just a wee bit.
That makes a certain amount of sense.
I'm glad, because I don't know how to make that any easier for you to get.
Wow.
I'm thinking that perhaps you, since you know what information you need,
You just got
it might be worth you, I don't know, teaching a class to our guards on what questions to ask.
you just got put in charge of intelligence gathering.
Have
Promotion.
you
Would that
heard
be-
me talk to people?
You're doing fine with me.
You're one person, and no, I'm probably not. You just have low standards, sir.
Well, you're not wrong.
Oh, buddy, have more.
I
faith in
didn't
yourself.
speak
Admitted
to
wife.
many people outside the order until about 6 months ago, so you know. It just seems to me if you're going to be the person in the field, the I don't know what we call you, detective, so to speak, then you know what questions you need answered before you even begin. It might help to speak to the guards themselves so that they know what questions to ask.
Am I your only investigator?
Not our only one, but you're
Am I
making
the only one that's brought up your severe lack of information?
today, yes. You happen to be here and making a point, and I'm listening and thinking that we might do something more with that.
Maybe one of your other investigators is a little better at peopling.
I'll ask around.
Good, you do that. You do that. Ask around about the hand tattoo guys too while you're at it.
Of course.
That's gonna be where I'm focusing initially. Have a couple of leads on the other one, but it's gonna take me a while to chase those down. There's a fair possibility he's already well out of town.
I don't like to hear that, but if you can get us a lead on where he went, we'll contact some of the forces outside the city and see if we can't track him
West.
down.
He went west.
West.
So he
Isn't,
took
isn't
a-
water west?
Yes,
Water
yes,
is
yes.
west.
The
He
ocean.
went across the ocean.
Yep.
He fled to Cuba.
Well, thank you for your time.
Of course.
Thank you for hearing my recommendations. I'm going to go get back to work, but do let me know if you see anything, if you find out any information about any new gangs, anything like that from anybody else
Of
out in the
course.
field.
Of course.
I will when I know more.
Okay. I'll let you get back to it. Then I've got some fires of my own to put out. And he starts to just shuffle through papers on the desk.
Can I see anything specific?
Nothing yet.
Speaking of fires, it might be worth remembering that the place that they told you he was burned down, or was in the process of burning down. Just a reminder.
If you wish to bring that up.
He probably died in a fire.
Now we're gonna have to go find a corpse.
So as you're leaving the office, a little page sort of runs in with another report and sets it on top of the pile. Ah, there it is. Can't believe they let the whole wagon get away. And he turns and sets it on top of the pile as he starts to read it.
Good luck with that. What
Uh,
does it say?
I mean, are
Just the contents of the.
yeah, it's just a basic, it's a basic guard report, where you know what, make me an investigation check.
Ooh. Ooh. Why am I an investigator?
That's a great question.
That's an excellent question. I'm good at perception. I'm terrible at investigation. So that's going to be 9.
Okay, are you trying to be stealthy in reading the report? No.
Not really.
Okay. So you're not able really to read it upside down because you're sort of on the wrong side of the desk.
Ooh, long list.
And then he looks up at you and sort of puts it aside until it's your assignment.
Oh.
No details.
I mean, possibly no details if it is my assignment.
All they say to you, a wagon went missing.
A wagon
Find
went
it.
missing. I found the wagon. Though the contents of the wagon is what you're supposed to find.
There's actually quite a few details on this one, so
Okay. Good to know. I'll be asking for those if you assign it to me.
good to
That's
know.
uncomfortable to know.
Good day.
Have a good day.
And he watches you out the door before he goes back to the report.
We done goofed.
He done goofed. Done mad goofed.
Big
Wasn't
bag
here
of
more than
boom.
3 days.
Well,
So, on your way out of the cloister, there's still a fairly large press of people, sort of in the big courtyard. By this time, sort of late in the day, there's also starting to be people coming and going to to their religious duties for the day. Regular people from around the town who've been worshiping the cult of the Empress in the cloister here. But on your way out, there you're suddenly very aware of a very smelly sort of male figure entirely too close to you. And about the time the two of you sort of reach the gate, he stumbles a little bit and throws an arm around your shoulder.
whoop.
Shh. And as you look into his cowl, it's Acherai.
Dear God, how long have you not bathed?
It's called a disguise.
Does the smell have to be part of it?
Would you have looked at me closely if I smelled this bad and didn't tell you who I was?
There are a lot of weird things about that statement.
Yes, there are, but these are weird times. Just keep walking.
We have to find the contents of the wagon.
Where am I taking you, sir? I'll happily escort you.
And he just sort for show, he just sort of mumbles something and points off a direction. And the two of you sort of stumble across the outer courtyard and down a street away from the cloister. And as soon as you guys are out of sight and there are no guards around, he straightens up, throws off the cloak, and tosses it in an alley. And the smell goes with it.
Oh, God, what did you roll that in?
Pig dung.
That sounds about right. Jeez, man.
Disguises are not always visual.
I mean, that's fair, but did you have to go from 0 to 20? Could you have found like a happy medium there?
Like what? Cow dung? Camel dung? What are we talking
let
about
it
here?
dry out a little first. Something.
And he sort of laughs and puts an arm out to you.
I hesitantly take it like you're bathing if you're staying tonight.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
And the two of you sort of walk off down the street.
I will tell him that Rosk is there.
I know.
Dude, I was gonna say, when do you think he was hiding?
All right. We'll come back to
Yes,
you.
you're fine.
So what are the rest of you
What are the
fellows up
miscreants
to?
doing?
What are the rest of you miscreants up to?
Suddenly, I feel slightly uncomfortable, as if something in the wind is changing.
There has been a great disturbance in the force.
I feel that I may have made a very large mistake.
Do we want to I hold out the key I have. Do we want to use this and go through everything we've
Yes, we're discussing.
Let's not yet. Let's wait till it gets a little darker. Head to the safe house. Do it there.
All right.
Do you all need help with that? Do you want help with that?
Wouldn't
I
hurt.
don't know how involved do you want to be in our crime.
Well, I did hear something about magic ink.
This is true.
Yes.
And I'm not opposed to stealing from the Apellian Order, so...
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to go through everything. We'll also then have to figure out how to dispose of anything we don't want. If I recall, we're in the back room at Castian's.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to let Simi know relatively soon what's going on.
In case she's assigned to track you down.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't know where she'd go.
I mean, I can send a message to her if you want.
True. Do you know where she stays?
Probably would, right?
I don't know. Would you have told him where your house is?
Oh, where my house is? No, but you would know where my business is.
Well, I know you're like up on the hill.
Oh,
overlooking.
yeah, because I've waved to him before.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because he looked up and was like,
You
"Oh, wait, you!"
You may not know that might be her house, but you've seen her up there.
Yeah, I seen her up there. I might have an idea, and I'll tell you what. Let's invite her to dinner and just have a casual conversation.
Invite her to dinner
At,
here?
at her house? Where are we having dinner?
Invite her to dinner at her
Didn't
house.
you already have dinner?
Oh, did we?
No, we pulled him away before he could eat. He had a drink.
I mean, yeah, we could. Although it needs to be somewhere, private, so that we can discuss the nature of our activities.
Oh, it's fine. We'll get Wagon Dash.
Wagon Dash.
No way. Write that down, Keith. Write that down. Wagon Dash.
Wagon Dash.
Wagon Dash is now with
Oh.
me.
Really?
Alternatively, if you give me a minute, I could make this place even more secure.
Well, I'm not worried about secure. It's just like we just can't go have dinner at like a bar at the busiest pub in town and
No.
discuss the nature of what we've been up to.
Actually, we could.
What are you talking about?
Did you forget the part where we're not supposed to be
Using
blatantly
magic?
casting magic in town?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying it is an option.
Yeah, if you want to send her a message, we go get food.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's not real
where are
food,
we
it's
getting
food.
food? Before I do that, where are we getting food so I can send that?
Like it sounded like we're wagon dashing.
Wagon Dash? Where would you like me to tell her we're meeting?
Look, why?
So, why don't we just meet here and
Decide
yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
we'll decide from here.
It'll give me a moment. For flavor text, because it takes me 10 minutes to do this
Yep.
because of being a ritualistic. I make, I go over to the sidewall. May I use the wall to draw chalk on real quick? It disappears once
May
it's
I
done.
vandalize your wall, sir?
Only temporarily.
Sure, just don't mess up my hats.
Okay. So I quickly, like within less than a minute, make a very, very complicated rotary dial. But like super complicated, and the rest of the 9 minutes is me trying to dial.
Let me call Simi's
Cliff.
phone number. 132.
So after 11 minutes or 10 minutes, sorry,
Okay.
In my brain.
I
What
will.
would you do with me?
777.
Only I know.
767.
And I will cast sending to Simi, to Rysla.
This is the first time I've had a ringtone in my head. It's like, oh, my
Collect
phone.
call from.
It's 867-5309. See me, don't lose that number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Miss Rysla, this is Lucas. Planning on wagon dashing. If you'll meet at Castian's shop, that would be lovely. Thank you.
You got it, I guess. I'll be there shortly.
The chalk glyph ends. She's on her. She'll be here in a little while.
That was
Okay.
fascinating to watch.
It's quite complicated, yes.
It looked like it.
You see like a slight twitch in my eye.
So how do you know what number to dial?
I just know.
Huh. That doesn't bother
It's a very complex algorithm of glyphs and maths. It's like dialing in someone's name, but in several languages.
I would love to learn how to do that.
I mean, yes, I can show you how to do that at a certain point. If we go through all the stuff, we might be able to help you with that. Yes.
So the four of you guys, real quick, just make me a quick perception check.
Oh, goodness. There can be miracles. 17.
If you believe.
18?
16.
16?
13.
13. Okay. You probably notice, but don't pay much attention to it since,
Yep.
You got other things sort of rolling around through your head. The rest of you do take note that the marketplace stalls outside, since it is sort of late in the day, are starting to close up. Of particular note, it looks as though there are a couple of new vendors actually sort of late in the day, kind of oddly, weirdly, bringing their stands, bringing their carts in to set them up. Looks like maybe they're going to
Night market.
They're going to set them up to be ready for tomorrow. I mean, it doesn't look like they're actually, opening for business tonight. They're just staking out a couple of spots. There's a prime real estate, and there's sort of this tall, thin, lithe elven fellow setting up one shop. He has the look of someone who until recently has maybe been doing a lot of traveling and now maybe has been given a job in the city and told to, given clothes to wear to dress nicely, but they're not exactly, he's not quite comfortable in them yet because, actually both of you guys would know that the elves are mostly nomadic. So this fellow certainly has the look of someone who has just come off of one of those trips. The other is a little halfling woman, a little bit old, middle age, early middle age, real sort of tan look to her. Shaka red hair pulled back into a bun on top of her head. And both of them are, it's kind of weird, both of them are giving each other sort of this hairy eyeball. It's like they're rivals. But then both of them make a point of absolutely and completely, like almost pointedly, ignoring your shop.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like they are very distinctly not paying attention to your shop.
So I want to be like, hey, look.
And both of them find spots like right on the curb, right in front of your shop, and there's just enough of a walkway between them as they set up facing each other for people to be able to see both carts and your shop at the same time.
Do you have a back door?
Yeah, it's in the back.
Why?
So I'm going to sort of nonchalantly stand by the window, which we closed earlier, and I'm gonna just sort of like lean in so that you can look over my shoulder without it being super obvious, because like you're talking to me, right? So I'll just sort of lean to open the window. You have people watching your shop. So I would can you let Simi know to go in a back way?
I mean, by the time...
I was gonna say, it takes him 10 minutes to cast the spell, maybe not.
Son of a gun. That's
I
right.
can do it. I can do it.
Ways.
Well, actually, I can
I
quicken.
imagine it would
I can
probably
quicken
take
it.
longer than that.
I can quicken it if you want. I will.
Well, maybe we should just meet somewhere else.
I mean, it might be too late depending on how close she is. But I'm worried we might blow her cover if she comes in here right now.
I mean, she presumably will be smart enough not to come in dressed as the Italian Order. So.
It doesn't matter what she comes in dressed as. If she comes in dressed as a merchant and they're watching this place, she may be blowing her cover that way too.
I don't think a merchant visiting
After
Castles.
hours.
She can say that she knows Castiel.
We're old friends.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that being said, and I'm going to reach over and grab a hat and put it on and be like, I will be back shortly. I'll go in through the back if you'll leave it unlocked. And I'm going to exit through the front door.
Okay.
Can you do the that spell you were talking about?
That thing.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
The like if something was to happen, then this would happen.
Oh, my contingency?
Yes, that one.
So it takes me a while to set up, but what is it you want me to set up?
Can you set it up so the back door only let people we know in, or that we?
I can do that.
You can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah, or I could do guards and wards, but that takes 10 minutes to set
I
up.
can take care of that.
Okay.
But I'll step out front and just sort of admire my new hat that I just stole casually from your front room and put it back on.
All things considering, I'll allow it.
I mean, I'll return it, but
So neither of the vendors is paying you any attention, almost ostentatiously so.
yep. I'm gonna open my gold pouch and sort of jumble in, count how much I've got left, put it back, and I'll walk over. Gentlemen, what are we selling?
Well,
I'm in a mood to buy.
so for starters,
Gentleman and lady, but okay.
It's lady and
Right,
gentleman.
Sorry, I missed the.
So they are not together; they are separated.
But if I can see them both from here, I am talking to both of them loudly because there's not a lot of people out, and the rest of the market's mostly cleared.
So the elf sort of looks up at you and says, "Well, good sir, I do regret to inform you that my wares will not be on display until the morrow. However, if you'd care for a sneak peek," and the little halfling was like, "Don't you do it! We had an agreement. No sales until tomorrow. I'm not selling anything. I'm simply showing him what we have."
If it would please you, I would love to see your wares as well. I have gold to burn.
And that's solicitation.
Yes. Well, you better come over here as soon as you're done with. In fact, no. Come over here first. I'll not be second placed at.
Do we see this happening?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We probably hear this
Yeah.
happening.
Can I
Absolutely.
insight
Peek
check
out the
this?
window.
Is this
In
too
case we
much
don't
of
get
an
to see me
overperformance
first, I'm
of?
causing a distraction.
Roll it.
Yeah,
That was
if,
my-
if
Wow,
possible, I would like to.
I am
insight
rolling
them.
very well. 16 insight. Is this truly merchants or is this an act?
This is not an act.
Okay.
So which one are you going to go to first?
There might be more to it than
why
it
don't-
seems, but
To appease both of you, why don't you bring your wares together here and I can look at them all at once. That way no one is second fiddle.
She just kind of cocks her eyes at you.
One of those compromised people, aren't
You're one of those compromised people, aren't you?
I am. It is actually one of my former jobs. One of many. Why are you here? Which company were you with? I traveled much myself.
She completely ignores the question and flips back sort of the opening of her little cart and reveals like rack upon rack upon rack of fine hats and and flips down the sign in front and it says Hawthorne's Headwear.
oh dear.
And the elf just glares at her and starts to like open curtains up and flips his own sign down. Says Klein's Caps. It's another it's another hat vendor.
That's amazing.
You have rifles.
Famous.
But I
love
have store
this.
in
Sorry,
place.
what were the two names of the Hawthorne?
Hawthorne's hats.
Hawthorne's Headwear and Klein's Caps. Kline.
Kline.
Yep.
I love this. So why here?
You just seemed like a good place.
Okay, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad. This is awesome. We need more competition in the city to drive prices better.
Indeed. You clearly are in need of a new hat, sirs. That bit of headwear that's upon your head is not fit at all for a gentleman of such fine standing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Cassian, what are you doing with that rocket launcher? Put that down.
Is that an anti-tank bomb? How did you get that?
Oh, Killian, I need a badger.
Certainly. No, I am looking for some specific things.
So just for some background here. Castian, you are very familiar, not with these particular vendors, but you are familiar with the names on the cards. Klein's Caps is run by a fellow by the name of Wallace P. Klein. He is a human and runs a hat shop down closer to the wharfs. They're not fine hats, but they are like good sturdy work hats that he does cater to sailors and fishermen and farmers, people who are going to be out working in their hats.
You pedant.
Now, that being said, the hats that are on display on the elf's cart are a little bit finer than what Klein normally makes. They are pushing into your territory. The other one, Hawthorne's Headwear, is run by a half-orc, actually, by the name of Herbert Hawthorne. His hats tend to be a lot more fancy. He's a more direct competitor to you, and does a lot more in the way of he's targeting nobles, but he's also targeting things that could be sold to upper middle class that looks like it would be something that a noble would wear. So something with the little glass, cut glass jewels in place of actual jewels, with filigree that looks like it should be gold filigree or silver filigree or whatever. It's finely made imitations of high-end stuff. So he's like one of those it's like one of those knockoff Rolex guys you find in New York City. He's got some of the real stuff, but he's also trying to sort of ride that divide and cater to both sides of the upper middle class to nobility line. So you've got two people here who are not... Well, you've got one that's not a direct competitor that looks like he's pushing in on your territory, and then you've got one who is a competitor and has clearly sent one of his minions to set up right in front of your shop. Shots have been fired. But you are familiar with both of these companies.
It would be a shame if some stolen good accidentally ended up in their inventory.
Real shame.
Let's slow our roll there a minute, Castian.
Oh, Simi, I found your thieves.
I understand you're upset that there are other people selling hats in front of your store.
But maybe let's not get them murdered.
Not murdered, but arrested.
Why are you... I mean, clearly they're setting up in front of your store because you sell very good hats.
It's flattery.
It's the principle.
What, other people aren't allowed to sell hats near you?
It's just rude.
I mean,
Well, yes, but I don't think rudeness...
And on that principle,
I don't think rudeness requires a death sentence.
They will will be tried like everybody else, maybe.
Have you?
Yeah, which means they'll be tried at the short end of a very swift sword. That's it.
Do you not have faith in our justice system?
No!
I'm part of it. No.
Do you see who runs the justice system in your town?
Also, the short end is the pommel, not the sharp
I was
end.
about to say.
And working as the managerial position in said legal system, it's not great.
I feel like if there are two random people who have started their own hat shops that are selling in front of you, like, do you really think their hats are going to be high enough quality that it's a concern for you?
Also, they're just peddling it out of carts. You've got a full establishment here. I think you're doing
I
more
say
well,
it's
better
the
off than they are.
principle, okay?
I mean, you could just go ask them to move.
Well, obviously, no, that's not gonna work.
Why do we know that's not going to work?
Because they're rude in the dicks.
And?
And on that alone, they're not gonna do anything I have to ask.
Why don't you go ask them first, and
Hey,
then we'll talk
Mr.
about
Castian, I have a question. Do you employ anyone here in the store, or is it just you?
Occasionally I might have some hired help, but
I
not very
mean-
often.
You're a semi-busy individual. Why don't you just offer those two a better paying job, and then they won't pedal off of the street? And they know all about your,
that. Except,
Mm,
this location is also used for some, less than legal things, so maybe we need to do a little bit more of a thorough of a check of anyone that gets employed here.
Oh, okay.
I like where your head's at.
Okay.
However,
A thought, then.
as one of the people who's currently using this location for less than legal things.
You know, it's fine. I have an idea for tomorrow. So
Oh,
it'll be
God.
fine.
What is your idea?
I'll
I'm
take
not
care
gonna kill
of it.
them or have them kill. I promise.
So meanwhile, out on the street, you are perusing the wares, and you recognize now what's happening. That these vendors have been sent here specifically to set up in front of Castian's shop to sell rival haberdashery.
Okay, so Castian, do you have a problem if I go step outside and ask them to leave?
No, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
You want to place a bet if they actually leave or not?
No, I just want to see what they'll do. I mean,
Yeah, I'm guessing they're gonna laugh in your face.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out now.
Do I see me yet?
They are not worth my time. So.
How big of you?
I'm basically trying to run distraction because I thought that they were.
Yep. As
Watching
a
shop.
note, Keith, I have cast Arcane Lock on the back door of Castian's place, so only a member of the party may open that door.
Okay. Odds or evens?
Evens.
No, you are not yet. You do not yet see Simi on the
I
way.
will keep
on
their
the way.
attention.
Okay.
So I'm going to step out, walk up in my armor.
Ah,
Officer.
so you
Officer, I work for a living.
clearly you are in need of some fancy headwear there, my sir.
No, and if I did, I would buy it from my good friend Castian. I'm here to politely please ask you to not set up right in front of his shop, please.
Who? Make an insight check.
Does he have to?
No.
Like-
I mean, it's actually
Natural 20.
it's fairly clear that both of the vendors at least know the name Castian, even if they've never met
I mean,
him.
they could look up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in big bold letters.
My friend who runs the shop that you're currently awkwardly in front of, hawking your wares.
Well, to be fair, we are not hawking wares yet. We are not open for business until the morning.
As far as I can tell, you have both been trying to hawk wares at this gentleman here.
We are simply letting him peruse our inventory. He did request that we show him what we have available to sell tomorrow.
Great. Well, it still stands. I am here to politely ask you to please not set up your market stall right in front of another hat house. Yeah, I feel like that's a good name for it. Castian's Hat House.
Haberdashery.
How close are the two vendors' carts together?
Oh gosh.
Very.
I mean, there's
I asked
a
them to come close.
there's a wall. Well, no. So,
They
so
do.
the carts, they didn't move the carts.
Okay.
The walkway between them is probably enough for two people, to go by.
Yeah.
So
Like 5 feet.
So probably, well, it's probably going to be more like 10 feet between them, and then, the carts then take up another 5 feet. So all told, it's probably 20 feet across.
Okay. Cobbled streets.
Yes.
And and the two vendors are distracted with.
Well,
him, correct?
each vendor is sort of behind their own cart,
Okay.
showing their wares. These two are
In the middle.
in the middle,
Okay.
smack down between them.
In the splash zone.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
I was gonna try and bump them together to see if they would start an argument with each other.
Anyway, so as the two of you have your pick of anywhere in the market, I am here to politely ask you to pick somewhere that is not right where you are.
Would that I could, sir, but my employer requested specifically this spot.
Your employer?
Yes, Wallace P. Klein, proprietor of Klein's.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and my boss told me to be here too.
I see.
Got to do what the boss says, right? Unfortunately, I have to agree with my rival here.
Your funeral. And I'm gonna turn and start to head back into Castian's
And-
place.
Oh my.
Excuse me, what?
No, I'm just gonna walk into Castian's place.
Oh, darn.
I'm gonna come in. Did you know that these are your competitors?
Well, they're selling hats, obviously.
Oh, yeah, but like those are just employees.
I would know the name, though, right?
You would know the names of the shop owners, yes. You would not know the names of these two particular specific vendors.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
always had this Klein and
Yeah.
Hawthorne, so.
Yeah, you
Yes.
know that's why I said that
Yeah.
you recognize those names.
Like the Hatfields and the McCoys.
Why don't you just have people go set up shops right in front of their places?
Where are the place?
One of them was down by the.
One
the
of them
docks.
was down by the docks. One of them is actually up in the halfling quarter.
Matter of fact, you really want to stick it to them. Why don't we get some money together? You go buy some of their hats, and then you have us sell their hats in front of their store for less than they are selling them for.
Ouch.
That would be really funny.
Or, do you have any flammable liquid?
I am not giving you flammable liquid right now. I cannot condone arson.
Whoa. I never said anything about arson.
Now, it's clear to me that the two out there are just employees now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, why don't you just go sell better hats than what they make outside their establishments?
No, I'm just thinking it'd be a real shame if something happened to their main factory down by the docks and the other place.
Right, so again, we come back to the arson problem.
I'm going to commit.
I'm going to point out that what they have done, as far as I am aware, while rude and provocative, is not technically illegal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna get out a like a big piece of paper, stiff paper, and I'm gonna start drawing on it and making a poster.
Okay.
And it will be displayed in the morning.
Okay.
We'll get back to that.
We will come back to that. Well, what?
I
So
think things have gotten too warm on the street corner for myself. Good evening. I will try to visit your storefronts elsewhere.
good evening, sir. And when you do need a replacement for that awful hat upon your head, do remember Klein's caps down in the waterfront district. Yeah, and don't forget Hawthorne's headwear. We're up on the north side.
Thank you. Anywhere but here where threats are thrown around so casually.
Yeah, and both of them actually look kind of like pleased and excited that you are including in that Castian's haberdashery. And then they start closing everything back up and making sure that
You see me looking out the window with the mischievous
things
look on my
are
face.
getting as things are getting secured for the evening. Where do you go when you leave them?
Around to the back door.
I mean, essentially, yeah. Like I am headed. Where's my map?
Down the street to the back door.
Well, I'm headed specifically towards where Simi would be coming from. So I think to the east.
No,
Or west, rather.
Yeah, she's off to the west.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will be heading down the street to the west. Thank you. That actually makes sense. It would have been the east.
Castian stories. There.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the cloister is up here. Yeah.
Yeah, the cloister is right here.
Yeah. So I'll head to the west.
Over here.
Okay.
And then I will. Once I'm out of sight, I'll just circle back around and go to the back door.
Okay. Roll me just roll me a percentile dice.
Ooh.
14.
14?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not for a pyramid, so it's
Yeah.
not going to be high.
Yeah, no.
Yep, you're safe.
Okay, so you circle back around to the back door of Castian's shop without ever seeing Simi. Simi, from the cloister with Akrai, where do you go?
So I would like to actually hop the buildings, because I want to look down below and see if I can spot any of the guys that I'm looking for with the tattoos on the way.
Ah,
So don't monk shit.
are you
Building to
taking
building.
Akrai with you?
I assume.
Okay. Do you explain to him what you're looking for?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he know anything?
He. Let's see. He's heard some rumblings from other towns that other sort of like middle and upper class young ladies have been behaving strangely and then disappearing. He hasn't heard them specifically linked to thugs with tattoos or anything, but the fact that it's not just here that young women are disappearing seems odd to him.
Wait, are we in Mistborn? That's what happening? wasn't like the second season of Mistborn like a bunch of ladies disappearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we in Mistborn now? Is that what this is?
I mean, we started basically in the Final Empire, so maybe.
Touche. Okay. Okay, so he is aware that that stuff is going on.
Mm-hmm. And that it is not confined only to Costas.
Okay. Same thing with the tattoos. Is anybody?
He hasn't
Doesn't
heard it
know as much
linked
of that.
to someone with
Okay.
tattoos. All he's heard is stories of middle to well-off young ladies disappearing.
So yeah, let's have a roof hopping party. See if we can find anything suspicious on the way over. I'll change at the house and then hop down the hill to Castian's.
Okay, let me.
I imagine I might have a couple of wigs or something at this point in time too, for emergency
me
me.
just check something out real quick.
Either that, or maybe I've got a wig for orders in me.
Let's see here. If So you're going to your house first?
Yeah, change.
Okay.
I was listening to those conversations. There were good points involved.
Oh, well. What do you know about that?
Uh-oh. You're gonna find a random encounter on your way.
No, I just didn't remember where I had put something. So, as it happens, let me make sure that I'm looking at the right numbers here.
We're in Mistborn and I'm hopping from rooftop to rooftop.
It's fine. Just ignore any other Mistborn you see doing the same thing.
Oh, sorry, Joe.
All right. So your path back to your house actually takes you across, by sheer happenstance, takes you across the roofs of the Halfling Quarter. Looking around, and it's called that not because that's where all the halflings live, but it is predominantly where their homes and businesses are. There's a mix of other people, other races in there as well. So it's not like the houses are all like halfling sized or anything. A lot of times roof lines still line up just fine. The one you can tell a halfling building, homes and businesses specifically, because they tend to back up against like the bluffs, like they dig into them, and they have twice as many floors as the buildings next to them.
Okay. Do I see anything shady?
So you don't see anything particularly shady, although as you are passing over a one of the commercial streets, you do happen to sort of find yourself like traversing the roof of a place called Hawthorne's Headwear. And you do kind of, through an open window, happen to catch sort of a deep, throaty, cackling laugh.
I like it when the villainous merchants are sitting laughing about their own evil plans that are happening in a totally different place, just casually sitting there.
He's got a pipe. I'm so evil.
Nobody there actually to watch him. He
Yep.
just does that in his spare time.
Absolutely. We gotta get you a long pipe though. The short one.
But beyond that,
Yeah.
you don't see anything like you. So if you're looking for someone with like long tattooed hands, you're not really picking up a lot of those.
I mean, I imagine the halflings weren't the ones dragging people away. It's
Because
not a
Steph
safe
isn't here.
assumption.
Racist!
I will say, go ahead and make me a perception check real quick.
19.
19. Okay. So it's a couple streets past Hawthorne's Hatware. And you hop over an alleyway from one rooftop to the next, and you're very clearly going from a halfling building to one designed for more, for the larger folk, larger races. And you sort of glance across the street, sort of away from, you're going one direction, you've just hopped over this alley, and you sort of glance over the main street that you're running, going parallel to, and you do catch a couple of fairly large, beefy guys lounging on a balcony. They've got they've got the doors to their apartment open, what have you. They're just kind of hanging out, chilling. Seems like there's a little bit of a gathering, but for a second you're not real sure what draws your eye. But then you realize that as one of them sort of puts a cigarette up to his mouth, he does have sort of, he's most of him is sort of light skinned, but his hand is a lot darker than the other, almost like he's got a tattoo on it.
Gallon.
I'm just thinking more follow him, but
No, just end him.
right now.
Now his friend,
We
the
just
friend that
seem
he's
to get
with,
someone.
does not have a tattoo. So it's just the one guy.
I'm gonna have Akarai hold for just a few minutes, just to see. Is he going anywhere? Or is
Doesn't
he just,
appear to be.
He's just happily hanging out with a friend.
Yep.
That's not helpful. I'm going to recruit to memory this place,
Okay.
and I have a funny feeling I've got a recon mission later.
Okay.
So taking note of that, I'll keep on going and go ahead and hop to
Okay.
my place.
You and Akarai are able to get back to your place easily enough. You go to change first, and then once you're done, he sort of draws up water for a nice long hot bath.
I mean, and not too long. We were supposed to meet people for dinner.
Oh, do you want me there too?
Yeah, do you want your boyfriend type thingy there?
See me rebooting.
Type thingy.
See me rebooting.
I mean, if you don't want to come with, that's okay. I don't know.
I mean, I didn't have any other plans.
Lucas might shit himself. I don't know.
Have you mentioned Lucas to Akarai?
She just did.
I just did.
Who's Lucas?
A little gnome fellow.
Halfling.
Oh! She called you a gnome.
Sorry.
Luckily, you're not there to hear it.
Yep.
That's racist.
Little halfling fellow. Who.
I like to think that you actually said little gnome.
Little gnome fellow. I think he used to work for you.
Oh, Lucas. Oh. So how do you know him?
See, I was sent to pick him up.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he finally made his move then.
Yep.
Good
that
for
is,
him.
good for him.
Good for him. Now we've got to get his some of his collection out of the city.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. I am going to come with you. Just give me about 2 minutes. I'll be right out.
Yeah.
I can't leave yet. I still have to get the head of the Pharaoh Kutanra. I don't.
Put some cologne on at least. Do
He's not gonna be able to get through the back door.
Wait, no.
I'm gonna open it for him.
Nobody else can open it, but if one of us opens it for him, they can move through it.
Yeah.
They just can't. Nobody can open it unless you're a member of the party.
So I got this. He'll get it.
Okay.
He's not opening it
So true to his word, about 2 minutes later, he comes out looking a lot more presentable. He's brushed his hair out, washed his face off real good, put on a fresh set of clothes that's not going to stand out on the street, and he has in fact put on something to make himself smell a lot better, and he smells a lot better.
Dun, dun.
Need 5 minutes.
And then he throws his stuff where he knows the laundry area is. I'll get to that later. And then he steps up right into your face. I've missed you. Mwah.
We're gonna be late.
You can, he just sort of grins, and he's got this little mischievous glint in his eye. Lead on.
Head out the door, and almost like literally hop to Castian's place.
Okay.
Just to say, you get there and see 2 stalls in front of the door.
However, they are, well, I mean, there's a lot of stalls in that little market area. These stalls were not there the last time you were here. They are closed up. You don't know what they're selling. They're not advertising their wares yet. And there's the vendors are there with them, just sort of lounging, keeping eyes on their carts and on each other.
Still just imagining the guy sitting there petting the cat by himself.
I'm so evil.
Yep.
I completely forgot I had Create Bonfire. I don't need you.
Yeah, except that never works for you.
I will go discreetly knock on the back door.
Who is it?
Come on in.
I will
Wait,
request that.
Only one person I know responds to that question with
Were you expecting someone else?
So the door opens, and Simi, aka Rysla, steps in, and right behind her is Akarai.
Oh.
Ah, Lucas, my friend.
Akarai! Nice to see you.
I need to have a word with you about your collection.
Do you?
And he puts his arm around you.
Oh.
Good to see you again, Akarai.
Good to see you too.
It's fortuitous that he's here, actually.
Oh?
Oh.
Yeah, we needed to just cue you in on a
I'm
small
sweating.
a small thing that might have happened today, because you might become involved in it.
Is this something that involves you crawling through the sky earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Elon.
I do make sure the front door's closed.
Okay.
Yeah, as I say, I assume we've made.
Yeah.
I'm sure, Akarai, you're aware that there's a special kind of, what's it called?
Ink.
No, the thing.
Anchor reef squid.
Right. There's this special anchor reef squid that produces ink that is oftentimes magical.
Oh, you didn't.
And the order apparently
And he squeezes Lucas's shoulders a little
gets
closer.
shipments of it, and
You didn't.
Lucas
And he's got this great big grin on his face.
Lucas and I may have diverted a wagon shipment.
It was you.
I see you've already heard about it. Great.
Well, the Order and the City Guard right now are crawling with extra hands. So, yeah.
Wonderful.
Sounds like it needs to be behind lead and shortly.
Yeah.
How big is that box you're carrying around? Okay.
Okay.
You can lock anything like that up behind lead. You definitely should. And we're gonna probably need a list of people that really deserve to die, because, if we have to figure out a place to pin this.
No.
Why are we saying no to you?
Hang on. I'm gonna look at these two. How much of a big deal is it that we waylaid this shipment?
I mean, well,
I've never seen that many city guards doing that many strenuous things in the cloister courtyard before. I've never seen my father come out of his office to talk to the city guards before.
Master Rust's in town.
Yes.
Oh.
It was so bad, I had to disguise myself by rolling in pig dung to get out of there.
Oh, well, you
Ask
smell nice
Simi.
right now.
She wasn't real thrilled when I threw my arm around her.
Oh.
Who is this?
hang on, in a minute. So,
Also, just
how likely, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are they to, like, I don't know.
12.
Crap.
It wasn't just the ink that you took.
Oh,
Oh, lovely.
I mean, we haven't.
I haven't looked yet. What else did we take?
I don't know. They haven't released that information yet.
There was a hefty list on the guy's desk. I was not allowed to actually look at it long enough to absorb, but it was not a short list.
I would assume you've got it hidden someplace it can't be found currently.
That depends how you want to interpret that phrase. It is currently
Is it on?
compressed and in suspended animation in a box.
Is it on this plane?
It's in my backpack.
Shit.
Let's move.
It's in a lead-lined box
Oh,
for what
never
it's
mind.
worth.
Oh, okay. That should that should help. That should buy us a
It's
few
in a
hours.
box. Currently.
I'm going to have to ask you how you did that, but not right now. I wouldn't take it out of the lead-lined box until you're well away from the city, or rather, better yet, give it to someone who's leaving the city. Oh wait, I need to take your collection out of the city anyway. I can
Right.
take it out of the city for you.
Great. Very love to see you. As you know, I have a very nice collection of little trinkets, and I
Yes.
might have taken something else. That I shouldn't have.
The key to the kingdom, as it were.
And I pull out the key.
So, Isla, is there a bounty on him?
Well, hold on. If I turn myself in, do I pay the fee? So, I had a change of heart and soul exchanges, but that's beyond the point. How have you been?
Well, up until this trip into the city, I've been doing fine.
That was wonderful. I'll stick the key back somewhere.
So your collection is out of reach.
Oh, yes.
So I don't need to take your collection out of the city.
No.
I mean, do we
Unless
have a
I should
reason to
perish.
stay in the city?
Okay.
That might be bad. I just letting you know
Okay,
that I have that.
simplifies things somewhat.
So-
I can get in touch. Who would I get in touch with? Oh, very clever. Yes.
Care to share with the class?
I will once I'm sure I can pull it off. It might solve a couple of problems at once with one little move.
Okay.
But I'll have to see if I can pull it off. I can perhaps move your box of stuff by, shall we say, some low friends of mine that I might not necessarily want to be friends with.
Well, we still need to go through what we found just so we can figure out
I
what's
would
in
say
there.
I would suggest not.
So for Lance's sake, Lance doesn't recall if we use the Maximilian's mansion, does that count as another plane of existence?
It does, yeah.
I mean, we could move it to another plane of existence temporarily to see what we have.
Alternatively, if we have a small amount of lead, I can make it so that we have a large room that is covered in lead.
We're all gonna die of such terrible
It's
things.
extra dimensional.
In my
dwelling.
defense, I thought we were just stealing. I thought the most important thing I was stealing was a shipment of magic ink.
And I was planning on only stealing that. I didn't realize you were going to take the whole wagon.
Well, things
But
kind
they
of got
know-
out of control when they were on the move instead of being
Right.
in the warehouse we were planning to hit, so I had to improvise.
Yes, communication should have been a little better.
On the upside, I am fairly confident no one actually saw me.
Or got hurt.
And no one got hurt. I did not injure anyone.
Okay.
It was a, one might even say it was almost a victimless crime.
One might not say that.
Almost.
Dinner?
Why don't we break out the mansion?
Here?
I mean, now I'm afraid to leave this place.
Fair.
I didn't realize we'd brought down that much heat.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't care.
I
to go back
didn't
to
know!
this.
I thought it was just
Look,
magic ink.
the door turns invisible when we close it, so no one will see it.
I assumed that the whole wagon, the most valuable thing on it, were these, 3 boxes of magic ink.
To be fair, that's usually what they send. I think we just might have gotten very unlucky.
Or lucky, depending on how you look at it.
Yes, I'll take the key and I'll create.
Yeah, maybe put it. Hold on, before you do that, maybe put it like. Let's move this shelf a little bit, and put it against the wall because it's invisible, not incorporeal. Correct?
Right.
So somebody could open it if they knew it was there.
Only someone I designate can open it.
Oh, never mind then. Hey,
It can be dispelled.
Now,
but
they could be waiting for us on the outside of the door, but...
there's a risk we're gonna take, I guess.
Do we need to move this party elsewhere?
Well, so the problem with moving it elsewhere right now is now I'm really concerned about going out anywhere on the street.
That's fair.
Wait, but why?
Because I didn't realize that I was carrying something that
But it's
valuable.
in a bloodline box. They can't find it.
But they could find us and search
I
us.
don't think they can find it unless they have ways of finding things that I don't know about and can prepare for.
Ooh, a very interesting question to ask Keith. Do I know how the Impelian Order tracks magic users? And have I taken the oath to not say it? I leave that entirely up to your discretion.
So what was your job again?
I was the scribe to the head,
It
librarian,
was a paralegal.
Okay.
lore keeper of
Okay.
the Impelian Order.
So you were not a field agent. So
Of course not.
So no, you were not privy to
Okay.
to the methodologies that they used.
But it
Akarai
could, but
might be-
he's oath.
Yes, but I've already asked Akarai about this before, and he said that he
Oh.
was because he had sworn an oath not to say how it works.
But it could be in the library.
Perhaps.
If
Also,
we
he
can
might
find
need to
it,
break
but-
his oath now, but
Yeah, when was it that
So
you said
every
that?
time you open the door, whether or not you're paying attention, I send my homunculus in, and he's just digging through books.
When your homunculus goes in again, the entire library is rearranged.
Yeah.
Dang it, I already did
Alright.
that one.
Get everyone in. Akarai. We'll move the shelf in front and then just close the door. Welcome to my mansion. A library off to the side. Any food can be provided for you as long as you ask. Workshops, bedrooms, bathing area. Because I might want a bath after this. Anything and everything can be provided.
Well, so let me ask you, Akarai, since I know you are unwilling to divulge the exact nature of how such things are done, but would the Order be able to track us down if they had the remains of a smoke grenade left behind at the scene?
Oh goodness.
Have you ever used one of those before?
Not here.
I'm just going to use it.
Have you ever used them before where it might have fallen into the hands of another member of the Order?
I doubt it, unless they've got secret agents all over the Valley of the Four Kings.
I'm going to do a quick intelligence check to see how specifically like, a locate spell would work for what you're asking. Just
Okay.
I get advantage on this. Okay. I'm just gonna look at this.
I've not heard of anyone else using such a device.
And
I mean, there are other magical effects that would imitate it. It imitates. So, assuming that they found the fragments and were able to link them to the idea of the smoke, they might be somewhat flummoxed by the idea of a mechanical version of a magical spell, especially where they have never seen it before. Now, tracking the materials back to their source might be possible given enough time in research, but I'm assuming that will probably take a long while.
Do you think they'd be putting lots of time into tracking where the metal came from?
There will be at least a small contingent looking into that. I assume most of their forces will be looking to recover the goods.
Okay, so we're probably good for a while.
Yes.
Where did you get the metal, though?
In my
Centerton, from my private stores.
and for my knowledge, they might find another ritualist who could do it. They could try and locate you. Do you have more of those grenades on you?
Not put together, but I have all the components to assemble one.
Alright, well they might be able to trace back another version of that. If they have your grenade, they might be able to find another version of it. Basically, with a locate object spell, they can look for like specific things. So if they know a specific smoke grenade, they can try and find another one. So
Okay.
if you're carrying one. But I was the only ritualist that I knew of the Impelian Order. Odessa might be able to. Madame Odessa might be able to, or someone else.
Are they going to be able to find it if it is in disassembled
Not here, no.
pieces?
Oh, it's several pieces now.
Okay.
It would have to be in a...
So I'll just need to make sure I don't assemble one until I'm ready to use it.
Yes.
Okay.
That was what the intelligence was, just to figure it out.
I figured.
You should be fine. As long as... Yes, that's the only way that I can think of, at least, that they would be able to track you.
Great. Well, then do you have a room that's big enough I can unload a wagon load of goods?
Certainly. This one over here. And I'll
I will
open it up and
follow.
it's-
I want to see this.
Opens up and it's like a massive 50 by 50 room. Along most of the walls there's like every kind of workbench, a furnace in the side, this giant workspace. In the middle there's sort of like a round table, but the middle of it's gone with a small section out leading to a 10-foot circle slab of black stone. Sort of tables, there's tools, anything you would need for like a workstation would be right here. I'll
Handy.
sort of click and move my hands and the tables will sort of lower into the ground. There should probably be enough space for whatever's in the wagon. We can
Great.
go through it.
In that case, and so Killian will get out what you... Cassian never got into the safe, I don't think. So what Simi would know is one of the lock boxes that we used to use in the safe on the Shaggin. He will get it out, he will set it on the ground, he will put a key in and unlock it, and then step away. And as he does, through like little slits in the side, it'll start faintly glowing, and he'll be like, "All right, this will take about 10 minutes to decompress." Over the course of that time, there's a hello hum that starts to get louder and louder, and the area that the items are going to take up starts to a very faint waver, almost like mirage style, ever so slightly, and gets a little bit greater until right as you can really see it is when there's a flash as the box opens and it decompresses all the stuff I grabbed out of the wagon in the same configuration, same places and everything, just decompresses it into the space.
There we go.
Try 7-zip next time.
It's a work in progress. Anyway, so there you go. The goods from the wagon.
All right.
So let's go through it all.
So, to start with, there are the 4 boxes that you are aware of that contain your ink.
Just a moment as I write these. Full boxes of ink. Thanks.
How big are these boxes?
They're probably
I don't think
about
Lance wants to
That's fine.
30 inches on a side.
Okay.
Basically cubes. As you sort of pick one up and sort of move it around, you can feel the ink sloshing a bit, but it also feels like it might be like subdivided off. So it feels like there might be multiple containers of inside each of these boxes.
Okay.
There is a 23-pound barrel of salt.
Pork.
There is a 119-pound drum of wheat. An 8-pound pot of turmeric.
8 pounds?
8 pounds of turmeric. That's a lot of turmeric. An 18-pound barrel of red wine. There are several other crates that you would have to open up to figure out what's
Keith,
in
I'm
them.
opening them.
You're opening them? Okay.
I'm trying to figure out why they're so hell-bent on
Yes.
getting this
Okay.
back.
Yes.
I mean,
Other than the ink, that's not too bad.
There's a silver-plated steel longsword with a jewel set in the hilt. It's sort of a green jewel set in the
The
hilt.
power of Grayskull.
There's
I
a
am
Oh, I should
Captain
probably mention
Planet
I'm
Wait.
using detect magic this whole time to see if any of these are
Okay.
magical items.
I don't have stats on all of these, but
That's fine. I just want to build
yeah.
like,
But
oh, this is
yes.
a magic thing.
But the longsword is magical.
Ooh.
There is a painted gold war mask, also magical. There's a bottle stopper cork embossed with gold leaf and set with amethysts. There's 2 of them.
Two bottles of.
It's not bottle stoppers. There is a carved harp of like a real dark exotic wood. You think it might be ebony.
Were the
It's
stoppers magical?
no. It does. The harp has ivory inlay and zircon gems in it. Also not magical. There is a small gold idol. And as Simi looks at it, it looks like Zoigan.
Does it look like that to the rest of us?
Well, I've never seen.
You've
Zoigan.
never seen Zoigan. You've never seen Zoigan. The
I
two
have.
of you have.
Yeah.
Well, he fell to earth.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So yeah, for
Yeah,
Castian
her
and
bed.
for Killian, yeah, that looks like Zoigan.
Is that one magical?
No.
Oh.
There's a silver chalice set. There's a silver chalice set with moonstones. That one is magical. There's a silver and gold brooch. Not magical. Then there is a spell scroll. It's inside a holder, but as you sort of pull it out and look at it, it is a spell scroll of Chaos Bolt. Then there is a glass sort of orb with a stopper in the top that's got some shimmery dust inside it. It is dust of disappearance once you have a chance to have it
And I have identified as well.
identified. And then there is a vial of sort of an oily substance. It's oil of slipperiness.
You just had to take it all.
I didn't have a choice.
So quite a bit of magical loot, quite a bit of high value loot,
Yeah.
plus the ink itself. There's a reason that they're freaked out about this particular shipment going
So
missing.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that was a very underguarded wagon for what I grabbed.
Well, to be fair, it's never been done before. No one ever grabs one of those wagons.
We weren't expecting it.
Also, and this from Ackrai, also, if a wagon is highly guarded, it draws attention. Likely they were looking to keep a low profile.
Well, that worked really well,
Oh,
though.
like us.
I don't imagine that will be standard operating procedure in the future.
Yeah,
Probably
no,
not.
probably not.
Safeguard by obscurity.
Much of this probably does need to leave the city.
Yeah. Oh, illustrious DM, what parts need to leave the city?
I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
if it was, I mean, and this is Ackrai speaking, if it was up to me, all of it. The more that's kept in the city, the more likely it is of being discovered. And that's not good for any of us. And he's looking specifically at you.
So, other than the magical items, which I assume are valuable because they are magical items, why large shipments of valuable pieces of artwork and other things?
Religious icons.
My father is consolidating power as best he can. He essentially controls law and order in the city. He wants more, but he can't afford it yet. These goods would go a long way towards paying for an army that has not been paid in half a year.
Oops.
It's true.
Oh no, another
So,
million.
what's the likelihood that the warehouse these came from have a whole bunch of other stuff like this? Because wouldn't you know it, I know where the warehouse is.
It's not hard.
My father is a very clever man. Well, stepfather, not really father. I'll call him father for sake
Yeah,
of brevity.
I get it.
But you
Yep.
that's fraught. He is a very clever man. If he knows that this was stolen, which he does,
He'll have moved all his...
he very likely will have moved everything to other locations.
Or be in the process of doing so.
So,
And likely will have much stricter, more stringent security in place. He will not want a repeat.
what's the likelihood that
No.
of the non-magical items they know specifically exactly what these pieces are? Let me put this another way. How hard would it be for someone, if they had connections with a criminal network of some sort, to be able to turn some of these items into cash? And how dangerous would that be? I understand the magical items are probably very well, they know exactly what they are.
Yes.
I'm not sure how much cataloging would have gone in for these other pieces that, while valuable, exist solely to be turned into...
At very least, there
Assets.
will be descriptions of them. Now, if you find the right unscrupulous sorts, probably not going to dissuade them from trying to move them. Again, they would be likely to try to move them out of the city.
A good defense wouldn't keep them here.
Question for you,
Correct.
Lance, because you're more proficient with our crafting thing that we're
Mhm.
using. Is there any way we can decraft something and use the parts for something else? We could just, repurpose a lot of the stuff, create new things that won't be able to be traced. Stuff we can use in the future, stuff that
Destroy
can.
Zoikin and then...
I mean, we could. I'm just trying to think what our options are.
Different cars.
While I agree that these not being in the hands of Rosk, good thing, and we don't want him to get a hold of them.
Absolutely, a very good thing.
Um,
I just don't know that keeping them in your hands is any better.
Exactly. Keith, do you have a rough idea of what those magic items do?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will before
least
the, I will
at least
before the
the-
next session.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
rolled
yeah.
it up on a random
No,
table.
it's fine. I was gonna say because like I just don't know if we want to hold on to any of the magic items. That'll be dependent on what they do. Whether we
Right.
think it's
I'll
worth
get
the
you that
risk,
next. I'll get you that over.
Yeah.
I don't know, Lucas. What do you want to do with our ill-gotten gains?
I'm gonna quickly look in the couple of boxes of ink sacs. I imagine they're all like in jars, right?
No, actually,
Oh.
they are in waterproof, like they're waterproofed, almost like wineskins
Oh, okay.
that have been securely stoppered and with a wax seal around the stopper.
I assume we would like to hold on to the magic ink,
Right.
given that that is the entire reason we grabbed
Mhm.
this.
Roughly, how much would this be? Like anywhere between like 500 gold to 1,000 gold's worth of ink. I'm just trying to figure out like how much
Yeah, I was gonna say
ink
we
worth
need to know the
ink value.
of it for
All right,
so-
so there are 16 skins.
times 4.
No, that
Oh,
no, there's
in
so
total?
so
Okay.
there's four in
There's 4
each.
in each crate.
In each crate, 4 crates, 16 total. Each sack is going to be worth 300 gold pieces.
Each one is 300.
Yes.
I mean, I can make this ink useful for myself. I can add several rituals to my retinue.
Well, okay, so you can make
So
use
I
of
can
the
make
ink.
use of the ink, as well as I think you had mentioned something
Yes,
about
you
that.
can make use of the ink. I can make use of the ink.
I could sell it.
I
I don't know what I would use it
I
for.
feel
How uncommon is magic ink on the market?
well. That's why it's destroyed. That's why the Impellion Order takes it so it can be destroyed, or small doses of it is distributed to.
Right, but
Certain
I'm just
members.
wondering since our friend has connections, because like if it's not super crazy rare to have magic ink that is moved on the market, it may not be a super bad. Like I doubt that they're going to be able. I don't know. Would they be able to track down the
You-
exact?
So you have not, Castian, you have not heard of magic ink being moved.
Okay.
Probably because it's super dangerous.
Yeah, that's to say, because if it is super rare, then yeah, we can't move it because then they'll know that this is the stolen shipment.
Also, just so everyone knows, that's 4,800 gold
Yeah.
worth of ink.
Just the ink.
Just the ink.
That's just the ink. And that's not even if, with your help and your help as well, if we deconstruct some of the magic items and use it to make other things, that would also be useful. I mean, how well are you melting down? I mean, not as a religious individual, but I don't know how we're going to be able to get a idol of a primal god.
Well, what's the term here?
What term would
What's
I
the
use
terminology?
as heathen?
Pagan?
Pagan?
Pagan, probably, yeah.
Of a pagan god?
I mean, it's a non-magical idol, and knowing Zoigan, I don't think
Pardon?
he'll care if we. Don't think Zoigan will care if we were to
Look
melt
too
down
far,
his
didn't
idol.
Wait,
Sorry, you're gonna have to say that again.
Knowing Zoigan, I don't think he'll care if we were to melt down the idol.
You've met Zoigan?
I mean, I don't. If there's anything magical about it,
I
that
don't remember. So DM Keith doesn't
Mhm.
remember. Has Acherai met Zoigan?
Yes.
Yes?
I
Yes.
thought he was there.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, he was there towards the end of it.
Okay. All right.
So yes.
Your friend, I think, would like the turmeric.
Well,
But that is quite a bit
the
of
base
turmeric.
goods, I assume, were just to disguise the valuable things.
Fair enough.
I think she'll be
yes.
fine. I don't know that she'll care for that much turmeric.
8 pounds.
Somehow, I don't think it'll be hard to hold on to wheat, turmeric, and salt. I don't think that'll give us away.
I mean,
barrels-
I don't think that
Track,
Zoigan would care. I just don't know what kinds of enchantments and things might be.
I mean, it is a non-magical.
It is
It is not
yeah,
magical.
yeah.
It is just a gold idol.
but it also could be easily tracked if someone is able to be like, oh,
Right, but
gold
so
statue of-
melting it down would not
Yeah.
be a problem.
Yeah, I don't
Melted
think
down.
he would care.
as well as like the silver and gold
If you
brooch.
use the proceeds for a just cause, probably not.
True. I don't know too much about the longsword or the mask or the silver chalice.
Well, we won't make any decisions on that till I know what
Right.
kind of magic they are.
I imagine we can strip down magically the dust of disappearance and the oil of slipperiness. I don't think that would come too useful unless anyone says otherwise. We can strip those down of their base magical essences.
Dust of disappearance, like,
It makes it so like you just toss it behind you and it makes it so your tracks and all of that makes it easier for you to not be tracked and harder for people to try and track you.
So, Akarai,
Okay.
Are you hoping to have these things moved out of the city because obviously it's dangerous for us to hold on to them, or are you hoping to put these things to use through your organization?
I want to get them out of the city because it's dangerous to hang on to them, and if we can arrange for the right people to be caught with them, they might
Okay.
it might clear the board of a few threats.
Okay.
I'm thinking specifically of the I just looked it up. Hang on.
I can think of two
Billy
threats
Bob
here in the
Joe
city.
franchise.
I'm thinking
You mean
specifically.
the
The employers.
I'm thinking specifically of the Pearl Patriots.
The what now?
The Pearl Patriots. You actually would have heard of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are a group of former Imperial admirals and captains that have taken control of several coastal towns.
Okay. In that case, let's say we decide on the magic items at the next game after we know what they do. Let's say I can melt down the gold idol.
Okay.
I can melt down the silver and gold brooch.
Okay.
Other than that, I say everything else of value can go with Akarai and can be moved out of the city. I'm assuming the Order doesn't have a way to track down the specific gold that made up this idol once it's melted down.
No.
Once it's melted down, no.
They can look for specifically like
Yeah,
An
the
idol-
object as
the
it is,
object
but
it
once
is,
once we
once it's
destroy that
melted
and
down,
melt
no.
it down,
they
use it
can't
in
look
other
for
ways.
something like too specific.
Yeah.
Because gold is way too specific. It basically everyone would light up like Christmas trees because everyone's carrying gold, or at least most people at least have a couple gold on them.
The spell scroll.
It's a sorcerer spell.
Unfortunately, I can't learn that.
Can you only add it if it's on your spell list?
Mhm.
Interesting.
So we could use it
Right.
as a not sorcerer. We cannot transcribe it into
so
a
we
wizard
don't need
spell.
that. I don't-
Actually, I think you can only cast a spell scroll if it's on your class list.
Really, I thought anybody who could use
Baldur's
magic-
Gate rules make it so anyone can use a spell, but
I'll double check.
in regular D&D, you can only cast a spell scroll that is specific to your class. So,
Anyway, so other than that, yeah, Akarai, if you had friends in low places that you would like to contact about moving things out of the city, sure.
Let me reach out to a few people.
I also have a network of people as well.
Oh, do you? We will have to compare notes sometimes.
Yeah.
Perhaps we know. Perhaps we run in some of the same circles. Perish the thought.
Actually, anybody can, like even a non-spell user, like a
Oh.
non-magic user, can try to use a
Try
spell
it.
scroll.
oh,
Nice.
well, I must have thought of that one.
So,
Well, now
try
that
to
we
use.
Yeah,
That's what it
you
said,
have
yeah.
if that's true, because with spell scrolls, the way to cast it is
If it's in your
if it's
spell
in your
list.
spell list, you can cast it.
Yeah.
If it's not, I think it's a DC
Yeah, it's some
10
sort of
plus the level of the spell.
That's
So-
it exactly, actually.
Okay.
In that case, I mean, does anyone feel any particular need to use the salt, wheat, turmeric, other than giving some to Lyra, and red wine for anything in particular?
Drinking red wine wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah,
but,
drinking it
Wait,
wouldn't be bad at all.
Wait. But aren't we in a space that could just create as much red wine as we want?
true.
Then I don't see a need to use something that is non-perishable.
Very
essentially.
well.
It's the principle. We stole it. We need to drink it.
Castian, coming between us is a slight spectral figure with a plate with 2 goblets of wine, and I'll take one.
As the resident lush, I actually side with the people that are saying, hey, we already have this available to us in a different way.
Yeah, like if you can get it for free and then sell the one that you don't have for free.
Right, exactly.
Why would you not sell it and then
I'm
drink the
just
free stuff?
saying, went through that trouble to get it. You should enjoy some of it.
I went through that trouble, thank you very much.
Also, don't you have a friend who makes alcohol, like, as a profession?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Well, he's not here.
I don't know where he is.
He's probably in the underground.
Oh wait, I also know what's his name in Elwick.
Also,
That's
who's not
true.
here. Okay. Figure all that stuff out. We can keep all that. You can take that.
We can probably do the stoppers as well. Just break them down and get the amethysts out of them.
Wait, the magical ones?
The stoppers aren't
magical.
magical.
I'll just send him with Acharai so that he can use them to frame people and get them out of his way.
Fair enough.
Can I get 2 of those?
There are easier ways of dealing with your problem than getting them arrested and murdered.
Apparently, some
All I'm doing is
other
drop it in, not
haberdashery
just tip, and it's
individuals
done.
have
How
been
easy can you get?
encroaching upon his territory.
There are 2 gentlemen who have they've sent employees to set up people selling their hats directly outside of
Hawthorne
the
and Klein,
haberdashery.
bastards.
The punishment has to match the crime, man.
See, I think that we should take some of his money, we should go to their hat places, we should buy their hats, and then sell them from a cart right outside their place for cheaper than they are selling them inside.
Doesn't sound like
Honestly,
good business, actually.
I mean,
No, but
loses money.
it will piss them off.
while it would serve him right, I also feel like there might be a more productive use of time.
Mightn't it make more sense to sell one shop's hats in front of the other shop at a discount?
That's a really and say that you're from. That's a really good idea.
I can make knockoffs.
That's a really. These are some okay.
Really
We can
cheap
circle back around
knockoffs
to
and
that.
they fall apart.
Yeah. No. These are some great ideas here. Anyway.
I thought we were
There
trying
are
to turn
there
into
are
Lake
easier
Killian.
ways to get your revenge, my friend, than by causing chaos and beating people up.
I'm not beating anyone.
You just have
up.
to be smart about it.
I was
that
just gonna report a theft.
Felt
on
pointed.
What?
That felt directed.
It was directed at Castian.
Yes.
Castian's not the one I worry about beating people up for revenge.
Revenge. I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here.
I've given up
Oh,
trying
that's
to figure
right.
out
You know
Yeah,
what I
I-
do in my spare time, don't you?
I don't beat people up. I might kill them, but I don't beat them up.
You've never
Oh,
really
you go
expressed
straight
your
for the
disdain
whole
for that
shebang,
before,
then.
Killian.
Yeah, it's one click. Done.
No, I just it felt very. Castian is not known for beating people up to get his revenge on them.
So
You, however, I've watched kill a man with their bare hands.
You have bare
Anyway.
hands?
Your bare fist?
So that's all divvied out. We will have to change the barrels over, but that should be pretty easy to fix. I can put the rest of this back in the lead-lined box for now.
Is there anything we want made out of?
Once
Wood
the
and iron
magic
bands?
inked is used to create something or to write on something, is it still traceable?
No.
No.
Okay.
And for the most part, my stuff, usually when I use it, is inscribed in my grimoire, and for the most part, you can't trace it unless you
so
know
we will
specifically
need
as a
we
grimoire.
will still need to store that in a lead-lined, protected environment.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Easy enough.
That is 96 levels worth of spells.
Jeez.
I can do a lot with this.
You can do a lot
so
with
I'm
this.
thinking we split
We
it
can-
3 ways.
Oh.
Each of us takes a third of it.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
you-
that's
You do the math.
not strictly necessary. I mean, we could use it as need be, as opposed to splitting it up evenly. And
Well,
I
but
suppose that's true. I'm not going to use it much.
if we
Maybe
split it up into thirds, then you can use it for whatever you feel the need to, and if someone else needs more, you can help them, but that way you don't need to feel like you're taking from a shared resource to do whatever you want to do with it.
All right. I mean, I'm not complaining. I wasn't really part of this whole thing. I appreciate it, but
Yeah, just as long as you're not going to try and sell it.
no, heavens no.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
The one rule is you can't sell it.
I mean, that would be 32 spells worth of ink.
So let's say we get all
For
this
each
out
of us.
and nobody gets caught, all that stuff.
What's the...
She's going to report to her order that she failed her mission.
So 32 levels
Technically,
of spells.
this part is not my mission yet.
How many?
So it's 50 gold per...
Now,
so it's 32
he
times 50.
is still my mission, but I did at least buy myself some time on that, saying that I was pretty sure the leads were leading me out of town. I could also, once everything is cleaned up from the fire, say that I have reason to believe that he died in the fire.
Wouldn't they then want to know where the items that he took were?
Well, did they tell you he took items? From what I understand, it was very scant information you were given. If they didn't tell you strictly speaking...
You were told that he stole stuff from the Order.
Oh,
You were not given a list of the stuff.
I feel like the bigger thing was the stuff he took, not himself.
Yes, yeah, they don't care that much about him. They
So
care
you would
about
still
what he took.
you'd still need to explain why you didn't find
I mean, scattered to the winds after cleanup on the fire. There are plenty of people
Well,
who
I
might
mean,
have
then
taken
again, he
things.
could have just ditched it and ran and...
And if you
And I am
stole
well
the key,
equipped to do it. Well,
if
It
you
is 90s.
stole the key, then you
Okay,
could have
that's
very
right.
easily passed that key on to anybody.
True.
Mhm.
I just don't know if a body's going to be enough for them to stop their hunt because they don't actually
big
care
is this
about him.
Is it just a little tiny thing?
it's...
Probably not, but it at least
Like Key to the
keeps
City type
them
thing?
from looking for him specifically.
True.
Not
It-
that they were
it's your
particularly
prerogative. It's your-
specific with who they told me to find.
Your mission, I leave it up to you how you want to cover those tracks. Anyway, that's just what I wanted to let you know was that we had stolen all this, and
Thanks for that.
I realized after it didn't go quite as covertly as I had hoped that it might be a bigger deal.
I say it went too well. Cause you got all this stuff now.
Yeah, that was not part of the initial plan to grab all of this.
Wasn't planning on it, but it happens. It's 1,600 gold's worth of ink per person. So.
Yeah, so 32 levels worth.
Mhm.
For you guys. I'm not using it for levels of spells. I'm using it to make spell scrolls so that I can use the spell scrolls to enchant items.
Gotcha.
That does make sense.
And if we're hungry, we can have some food and continue talking.
I will pack up the things
Okay,
back into the box.
back into the box. Excellent. It is at this point, after all of that discussion,
Yep.
it is quite late now.
Also,
the city has gone
much for
full
dinner.
night.
I heard you're looking for someone who's kidnapped.
Yes,
Oh.
No, I think that she was reverse kidnapping someone.
that was the idea, yeah. When I figure out where they are, I'm going to unkidnap them.
You're going to unkidnap them or reverse kidnap them? Because I feel like reverse kidnapping implies that you are going to take them from their kidnappers and then hold them.
I mean,
You're going to
Not
kidnap
long.
them from kidnappers.
I would kidnap them from kidnappers, but I would not be holding them long. I would be returning
And I
them.
don't think that counts as kidnapping. I think the word you are all looking for is liberating.
Or
This was not a
rescue.
word that I came up
Or
with.
rescue. Rescue seems a lot more like what you're supposed to be doing.
I struggle with words sometimes.
Ain't
So,
that the truth?
Seems like it.
you know this about me. This should not
Anyway,
surprise
so
you.
you're looking for someone who...
Yes, so I'm looking for a teenage girl, kind of elder teens, who was snatched at the prince.
The Prince of the Scribe.
Ah, I almost said the Prince and the Pauper. We're gonna rename that place like 82 times. The Prince and the Scribe, by men who others thought were like her security.
Bouncers, I think, was what was used.
Bouncers.
bouncers.
Yeah, they
I
said
thought
they
that it
thought
was
security
the
at
security at the tavern. Men with elaborate or distinctive hand tattoos.
Do you have a description of elaborate hand tattoos?
No, but I did see from the rooftops over in the Halfling Quarter a fellow, not Halfling, on the other side of the street, lounging, talking to a friend, I assume, who had what looked to be hand tattoos. I couldn't get close enough to actually see what they were, But I might go back to that place and see if I can
I
follow.
understand there was a ransom note.
Yes. I forget what it said because I didn't write it down.
I don't think you saw it, did you?
No,
'Cause it
you
was
didn't.
To her family. You didn't
They
do it.
just told you.
They told you.
They told you there
was
was
a
one.
ransom
Oh,
You
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it
Once
yet.
again, the impelling order not telling you a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me. I don't want to intrude upon your, however you want to handle things, but have you seen said ransom note?
No, of course not. My handler is very bad at giving me information.
Have you talked to the family of the girl who's missing?
I did. They did not offer the ransom note. I assumed that was taken
Did
by
you?
the order.
No, you just talked to his family, right?
You talked to his family. You never talked to her family.
Oh, I have missed a key step in this process.
Yeah.
Oops.
Step number 1 is always talk to the victim's family, and you blew
Also-
right past that
Um,
one.
When's the ransom due?
But yeah, but I don't think.
I don't know that they told me. They
Again,
didn't
they didn't-
say.
Who's this person you're trying to find?
D Smoothhands.
And am I aware of the smooth hands? Just merchant, high merchant.
Yeah, they're sort of
These
upper middle class.
I wouldn't know them personally. I
You wouldn't know
just
them personally.
recognize
You
that.
you might recognize the name
Right.
from some of the
Um,
reports.
This is not necessarily my area of expertise, but you might want to find out when the ransom's due and make sure that they don't pay it if you're trying to find her.
Yeah. Player Danny kind of forgot that she hadn't talked to the victim's family.
Is there? I mean, is this something that I can help with? I have a lot of making up to do.
I have no idea what you're good at.
Lots of things.
I'm very good at finding
Yeah.
people.
Also,
I'm-
isn't your whole thing that you can find people?
It's my only skill in life,
Well
except
then,
finding myself.
friends, I could certainly use a little bit of a hand then, I suppose.
Now,
Smooth
not
one.
to be too morbid, but do we know if she's still alive?
No,
Oh, okay.
we're hoping.
I mean,
If
I
the
could.
ransom note's legitimate, I would assume they wouldn't kill her until they thought they were going to get the ransom.
What they wanted,
Right.
yes. So at least for right now, we're probably safe as far as that goes.
I would also assume that if they're ransoming her to a family in the city, that they're not keeping her too far from said city. I mean, that maybe
At
not,
least
because
if they
maybe they're not
actually
planning on
intend
actually, but in
That's
case
the
they
catch.
needed to show proof of life or
something
something.
to that effect. So,
I mean, I could always rotary them,
Sure.
see if they respond.
interesting.
Of course, I wouldn't have to know the full name
Oh, for the kidnappers?
for the
For the victim.
for the
Oh,
victim.
okay.
We're trying to
For
contact
the
the
victim.
victim.
So that is the full name, D Smoothhands.
These smooth hands. Okay.
Is it?
That's the one I was given.
Do they have a middle name? That would be a part of the full
How,
name.
how late is it, Keith?
It is full night.
Tell you what, first thing in the morning, you should talk to the parents.
Yes,
Unless
that
you
is
want
the
to go
plan.
talk to them now.
I mean, it is night.
If they might be paying the ransom right now.
That's fair. Okay.
And again, maybe you're fine with them paying the ransom because, like, maybe that may just solve your problem altogether. But
I have a feeling that's probably not going to be that simple. If you wouldn't mind just rotarying them, did you say?
Yes, that is the term I did
Yeah.
use.
He roto-rooters them.
Okay, that sounds violent. So I am going to go ahead and go.
Just no.
bad, Steven.
Bad, Steven. Sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and go. That's not a bad idea. Going ahead and going and talking to the parents. So
Do you want any of us to come with you?
you talk to D. You two. I just don't know you well enough, but I know you. So, and you seem confident.
He is competent.
That word can mean so many different things to so many different
I can
people.
vouch that he is competent. He is a fairly skilled swordsman and a skilled spellcaster.
I picked up a lot of tricks while I was.
Used to
Abroad.
possess. Castian, you guard him and make sure that nothing bad happens to him, as well as make sure that he doesn't go anywhere to steal anything else.
Hacker, eh?
I am offended that you think I am a serial thief.
Akrai's just
You
going to
are
kind
a
of squeeze you
serial-
closer.
Actually,
Kids
you
are like,
can help
I
me.
do think, technically by definition,
2
you are now a
points of
serial
data.
thief.
No. 3 equals serial killer.
You're not helping yourself. This is not making you look any less like a serial
Actually,
thief.
you can help me make some cheap hats if you like.
Oh,
Just make sure that they're close enough you can pass them off as your competitors.
Oh, absolutely. And they're gonna fall apart.
Of course.
You can even swap them with the ones that are out there on their
I was gonna
carts.
say, have they actually left?
No, last you saw, both of them were still there guarding their wares for the night. And it looked like they wanted to be there for first thing in the morning.
or if you want to does the ink need distilled in some way or
It will need
processed?
to be, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to start that process, that might not be a bad thing to do.
So
now.
the problem with starting that, we're gonna run into a logistical problem here where I have to be here before we close out the mansion to put them back in the box.
It lasts 24 hours.
I don't think that should be
Oh,
an issue.
okay. Then yeah, sure.
I can spend the night distilling ink.
How many of those can you cast?
I mean,
It's a 4th
Do you want me to see if I can
a
contact?
single 5-foot cube. I mean, I could
Yes,
do a huge
Steve.
amount of them
Okay.
Yes.
in a cube, and I can do that
Uh,
several times.
Because
Do you?
I can. I'm gonna speed this up. quickly do like a rudimentary version of the glyph,
Okay.
and bonus action
Materials?
casting the
Oh, I got
sending
materials.
spell
So you're going to send to her on
to
speed dial.
to D smooth hand.
Gets the dial-up tone.
Get the old computer operator.
Who may I connect you to?
AT&T, how may I direct your call?
Miss Smooth Hand, a friend of your family's, trying to see if you're all right.
That's one word. All right is one word.
All right. Please
All right.
respond
no.
back if you're all right.
But you don't understand. He's saying ALL space RIGHT.
No.
Please keep your response short. Your location?
Know her location, but
Maybe she does.
Maybe.
Maybe details about the location at least.
She also maybe didn't actually get kidnapped, and so she wants to be where she is. But you know.
yeah, she's actually hiding out with the dragon sex cult, and she just wants the
We
money.
need to write that down before.
Oh, DM disadvantage.
Oh.
From Distal?
Thank you.
Thanks
Okay,
for
I'll
looking.
I'll bank it. I haven't been rolling tonight, but I'll bank it. All right, let's see how you did.
I'm really going to add this kidnapping to my notes. Now that I
Now that
know
you-
it.
yeah. So many things where I'm like, I can't put that in my notes yet. I don't know about it.
Yep.
Just spread them wherever. Fair enough. Character advantage. So we've got a DM disadvantage and a character advantage.
It's 25 words, by the way, just so you know.
Sweet action.
Yep.
Is she writing her response so that she can count?
Well.
Keith's writing a
Yeah.
response
Yep.
to fit what.
To know when it cuts
Oh,
off.
any less.
Help me,
Woo,
help me, help me, help me,
Liz!
help me, help me,
Thank
help
you,
me, help me,
Distal.
help me.
You're cashing in all the
I'm-
goodies. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I'm in the.
Why not this house? Woo! Okay, so I'm gonna write these down. So we've got DM disadvantage,
Oh,
A bless, a D8, and
player
advantage.
advantage, a bless,
Yeah, tier 2 bardic inspiration.
a temporary expertise. Oh my goodness!
Man, the next roll somebody makes.
right.
And I roll a 40.
Who's all this for?
He's saying to spread it around wherever. So D8 bardic inspiration, and then temporary expertise. All right.
I feel like a commendation from Killian is like a glowing review from anybody else.
That is true. That is true.
Like, oh yeah, competent.
How long is temporary expertise?
Don't worry, I
One
didn't
roll.
spend my
Yep.
whole time in.
And
So
you
we
just
get to
add
Proficiency with
we add your proficiency on top of anything, even if you're double
already
proficient.
proficient.
already,
Yeah. So you get extra fun stuff. Thank you, Distal. You're awesome. Also, I miss your face.
Gosh, that smells so good.
What smell? Oh,
Tie house.
it's a hood ornament. It doesn't do anything for me.
I mean, I already ate all of mine.
Pineapple
but
chick,
it's still
or was it pineapple fried
pineapple
rice?
fried rice.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I will be getting ready while Keith is figuring out his message.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna be getting ready to go over there.
Do we have to? Are we going over there overtly or covertly?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I think once we're there, being overt's probably a good idea. But getting to it so that we're not followed, we should probably try and stick to the shadows and
Okay.
be stealthy about it. Because, you know, if they have security, well, I guess if they had good security, she wouldn't have gotten kidnapped in the first place. But I also feel like just sneaking into their bedroom and being like, stay. Would be a terrible
I
idea.
will let you take the lead.
Yeah, so we'll sneak there and then we'll knock like dignified people.
How sneaky?
Thank you, Distal, for all of that shenaniganery. So
You
How
rock,
sneaky
sir.
are we trying to be?
On the way,
Find that in your Apple Music library.
it's not in
No
my
wonder.
Apple Music
I've never heard
library.
of How Sneaky Should We Be album.
on the way, pretty dang sneaky. Although I would say we can go out the front and I can just shame the two idiots that have set up shop on either side. But as we're moving, probably as stealthy as we can be.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so the response to you.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this? I bet my folks are overreacting to me and Thea being gone. I'm trying to talk her.
Is that 25?
That's 25.
Say that again.
I told you.
Yep.
Campfire.
Yep.
I told you this is what happened. Can I see the...
Yeah.
Right, campfire.
And yeah, the campfire on Friday we were talking about what
Oh.
we.
And I said, because like she started acting weird when the maid was around. I was like,
Yeah.
so we're tracking a woman who's
Who's having a
found-
tryst? Yeah.
who's having a tryst with her maid. Who is this? I bet my folks are overacting to me. And Thea being none. I'm just trying to talk her. Okay. I relay that information to the group. Here, can I just take
Did
a
we
picture
wait
of that
around
real
long
quick?
enough for that, or are we already gone?
I mean, that didn't.
I
actually
did
take
that.
long.
I did that one.
Yeah, he
Instantly.
cast
I
it as a
can-
bonus action, and I assume
Oh,
the
okay,
response
okay.
didn't actually take that long.
Or overreacting to me and
Presumably, she
Yeah,
didn't
no.
actually
Yeah.
write out
I
her
think,
letter.
yeah,
No,
was the
she
maid.
didn't. She was just
Yeah.
trying to react. That was DM Keith trying
Yep.
to figure out how many is 25
Yep.
words. I mean, you're talking about a young merchant girl who's grown up in a society that is not used to magic.
Yep.
She would not be
Oh, yeah, no.
composed enough
Absolutely
to keep
not.
her message on point.
of course not. Okay.
So, that doesn't sound to me like someone who's been kidnapped.
No.
But
But
why is there a ransom? then?
exactly.
So I think we still need to talk to them.
Yes.
But
Okay.
How old is this girl?
like 19-ish.
Maybe she just set it up to get a payday.
I don't know that she set it up, but somebody set it up to get a payday.
Or somebody took the opportunity to. Like, maybe she's off with her maid
Yeah.
somewhere, and someone else is taking the opportunity to make it look like a.
Somebody somewhere is taking advantage of this situation.
Or.
It sounds like the maid is distracting her.
Right, or the
while
maid
the
is.
while the two shady bouncers you referred to are trying to set up as like a hostage thing.
I was gonna say, or the maid was in on it and she doesn't realize she has in fact been kidnapped.
That would be probably more my bet. Since there were witnesses with the like, what are the chances like multiple big guys with hand tattoos, with the same hand tattoos, are going to like be at the bar and be witnessed?
Yeah, no, there's definitely something weird going on
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So
Much easier to keep a prisoner that doesn't know that they are a prisoner.
to
This
the House
is
of
so
Smooth
true.
Hands.
To the smooth hand house.
And I'll stay here.
That sounds terrible. Onward. Why, Keith? Why?
It was a random generator
You
that
could have
came up
always
with those
randomly
names.
generated
As-
something else
I could
after you
have.
saw
As
it.
But I
one
chose
GM
not
to
to.
the other, Keith, sometimes you have to say it out loud a few times to make sure it's gonna be good.
Now, that one you shouldn't have even had to say out loud. That one should have just been obvious.
Pervon.
Yeah, Pervon.
Pervon.
It's another one of those situations. Okay, so.
So we're being stealthy.
Yeah.
Before you even open the door, I am invisible.
Like I said, he's competent.
Fair enough. I do want to shame the people on either side of the door, though. So before I sneak into the shadows, when I go out, I'm going to look at the vendors on either side.
Now, at this point, remember, you can't see what their wares are. You just see them sitting there.
But
I
we
mean,
have told you.
Yeah.
Are there like blocks on their wheels?
Yes.
Let's go kick one out.
Are they sleeping there all night?
Seem to be.
Apparently.
I'm just gonna go kick one of the blocks out and keep walking.
Do your bosses realize how terrible this makes you two look?
I'm not sure they care.
And these two at least are getting paid. I assume you're getting paid.
Oh, yes.
So I don't know how much they care.
How well are you getting paid?
I mean, well enough for what I'm used to.
To look like jerks and
It's a payday. Money's tight.
nothing
make
better
it-
in town?
Not that I've been able to find.
Duly noted.
yeah, I'm not particularly upset with them actually. Like that's
No, I'm upset with their bosses, and like your bosses should be absolutely ashamed to behave this way, and they're shooting themselves in the foot because now I will never look at their store because this is the crap that they pull. They're unethical, just like bastards. I have no desire to be anywhere near them. So, good luck with your business ventures, I suppose. Just like stroll away.
I'm stuck with you and Acherai, right?
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
I will start distilling the ink to make it workable with
I
the
was like, he's either going
what
to
we're
distill
gonna
ink
use them
or
for.
he's going to try and run.
Okay.
That would be funny
Um,
too.
Not be a good
I
idea
need
to run.
you to make me a series of Arcana rolls.
Okay.
It's going to represent basically one each hour.
Okay.
The DC is going to be 18, and you need to accumulate 4 successes before you accumulate 3 failures.
What are you rolling for?
You can always leave that to us at another date. We can probably make that
I can
happen.
just magically do it. We can just use fabricate
I don't
and
know
take
that.
care of it.
I don't
Yeah.
know that.
Good
I'd like
luck.
to make a deal with the devil.
No, Brayden.
Oh!
I'd like to see on this entire venture in exchange for a future failure.
I was say, I don't know how well you saw that on stream, but he just shook hands with the DM.
So it will take the time.
Pleasure
but-
doing
Wait,
business
wait.
with you.
You didn't have to do that.
It's
You had
been
all
done.
of that.
It's been done.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
It's been done.
I don't trust myself to roll that well.
Ah,
So
such a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
I'm gonna use the D8. Yeah. That way I can be stealthier.
Oh yeah, what's all for the stealth rolls? What's all the different things that are out there?
So I just grabbed up the Bardic Inspiration. So
Oh,
that brings
sorry.
my stealth to 24.
There's also an advantage and bless.
And disadvantage for him.
Here, 1 second. Let me
And
put that
temporary
back out
expertise.
for you guys.
Yeah, and expertise.
It would not have gone well.
Okay, so there's that.
I will take the bless.
Okay, so you guys write down what you're taking off of this list real quick, and I'm gonna make a note of this.
Oh yeah, typified my dice.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
she's not here to roll for you.
Yeah.
So
I could roll for you.
No, it has to be her.
okay,
I like how adamant. No.
No.
so everyone knows what they're using.
Yep.
Okay, so let me grab this back over here real quick.
I am just using invisibility.
I mean, that gives you a +10 to your stealth, doesn't it?
No. I mean, I think technically it gives me advantage. If somebody's back.
All right, so Killian, what were you?
I
on?
used the bless.
You're using the bless,
I used the inspiration.
the
Bardic.
the bardic inspiration. Okay, so that tier 2, that was the D8. Okay, so there is still DM disadvantage on the table because I haven't rolled anything yet. There's still a character advantage and a temporary expertise, as well as Nate's dice having been fired by Chipper. Chipper gets to roll that when she's here next. Okay, and you said
So I ended up with a 24.
24 stealth.
Yes.
Okay, you are very sneaky.
23.
23 stealth.
And I have my active camo on, so if anybody's
Okay.
trying to find me.
So also very stealthy, and you are invisible, so you are very stealthy,
21 if it matters.
and a 21. So you are all very stealthy, and you guys are headed for you
No,
are
you
heading
can see
for
the
Smooth Hand
opportunity.
Manor.
Smooth Hand Manor.
Yum.
Okay.
Keith Bailey.
All right. So
They sell lotion. Cocoa butter. Shea butter.
so from Killian's shop, you guys do go up into the northern sort of plateaued area. You pass through the halfling quarter.
Is that guy still there?
I'm so evil. Oh, no.
The other guy.
Odds or evens?
Cassie shot.
Evans.
No, he's not. So as you pass by, you look up. The lights are off in whatever that apartment was up there. So there's not even any sign that there's anybody up there anymore.
Just for my own edification, what part of the map is the halfling quarter?
Okay.
That's a good question.
I've told this before.
I don't think I have.
Mm-mm.
All right. So
From Castian's shop.
from Castian's shop, if you go directly west, you pass out of the courtyard. Go to the next street over, which is the minor street. That's where it starts, and it goes all the way over to the next major street.
Okay.
And then north, it goes up to the next major street, up the hill, and then there's the two sort of oddly shaped blocks just to the east of that main highway that you're on, main road that you're on. Sort of an odd. There's sort of the little curved road that's got the little half circle on it.
Yep.
So those two blocks are part of the halfling quarter. And then that 13, that whole block is the...
Yeah.
Yeah, so it sort of backs right up to the cloister.
I just want a safe house.
No, it doesn't get to your safe house.
Oh. I guess I went too far.
Here.
Number.
It's not a number.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay. I went too far then.
Hey, Neo.
So from just behind you, as we're getting up here, I'll just say, "Don't worry, I'm right behind you."
Excellent. nice to have.
Can you track her?
I mean, I assume since I knew where she was when she started that I was able to keep up with her.
I mean, she's being stealthy.
Yeah, but he knows where I'm going.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Okay.
mean, hell, if it comes down to that, I'll just pop up into the air and fly all the way over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I am actually like showing up at the doorstep. I'm not gonna sneak into their bedrooms.
Okay.
And, like,
All
Have
right.
fun.
that seems like a really bad
Duly
idea.
noted, I'll be sneaking into your bedroom from
Please
now
do.
on.
The
Please do, man.
so Smooth Hand Manor is actually a couple blocks away from the Halfling Quarter. Did you guys see that one on the map too?
What is it? Does it have a number?
It does not. No. There, but it is labeled.
Oh.
Ah, okay, I see.
Got it.
So you guys are very sneaky and are able to get to it relatively easy. The streets are not super lively at night, but they are, there are some people out and about.
Especially while they look for their stolen wagon.
The guards are definitely out and about trying to find it because the robbery happens
Yep.
very much in the area where you
I
guys
was
are
to say it
traversing.
happened not very long ago and not very far from here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So every time you guys see the guards coming, you kind of duck into alleys and
I don't.
into deeper shadows and things like that.
Leave you guys alone for a freaking 5-minute interval.
actually that big of a deal.
Uh-huh.
But then about half an hour or so after leaving Castian's shop, you find yourselves at the front door to Smooth Hand Manor.
You did this. You did this. I'm gonna unstealthy and
Okay.
just like go up and knock on the door.
So right before you go up, Killian's like, wait, okay, so like, what do you want us to do?
You guys are gonna be my language skill people because I lacked all tact. Which I don't know. Maybe you guys have negatives and charisma too, but
No,
oh, it is?
I have a +3.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Paladin.
So you guys get to help me be more tactful, and also if there is something that I am missing, I need extra eyes around while I'm talking.
Do you want me to stay invisible? I have about half an hour left.
Maybe that might be a good idea. If you find reason to that you should not be, just go out the door again and knock, and I'll tell them you're with me.
Okay,
Okay.
that we can do.
Okay.
I'll go to the window and misty steps.
After
Outside will be fine.
after about a minute or so, you hear some footsteps coming to the front door, and the door opens, and a very well-dressed halfling butler is standing there. May I help you?
Yes. I apologize for my late appearance, but I am here with the order dealing with the matter at hand with
Ah, yes.
Miss Athens.
Do come in. We've been expecting someone from the order. We also heard about that unfortunate business with the wagons and missing goods. So we understand why you might have been somewhat delayed in approaching.
I am terribly sorry about that, but I would certainly like to be getting more of a start with this as well.
If you'll come right in and follow me to the small sitting room, I shall ring for my employer and his wife.
Wonderful. And this is my associate Killian. He'll be, or not, whatever your name is that you go by now. Do you just go by Killian?
Killian, you haven't seen Killian using a different name since he's been here.
Okay, then Killian. This is my associate. He'll be
Mr. Killian.
And I will walk in between the two of you inside to make sure I don't hit the door.
What about Connor?
He hasn't been going by that. As far as Killian knows, there's no need for him to go by a different name anymore. Like, as far as he knows, he is not actively hunted.
So he will show you into a small sitting room right off the main foyer, and then he will pull the doors closed behind him, and you hear his footsteps going deeper into the house.
So right up next to your ear, I'll say, "Do you want me to go check things out?" In a whisper.
Yes. Carefully.
I will follow him.
Okay, he did close the doors behind him as he
okay.
left. And you can open the door if you want to, but he did close it behind him.
Did you use regular or greater invisibility?
Regular, because it lasts longer.
Yeah, greater is only like a minute.
But then you super invisible.
Well, I can check out the room at the
There's
very
a gust
least.
of wind.
Yeah,
nobody's
yeah.
visible.
Okay, it is just a very nicely decorated sitting room. There are a couple of nice settees on either end of the room. There's a fireplace with fire, a fire sort of happily roaring away. Candles haven't been put out for the night yet. There's a little drawing table in one corner, a writing desk, a couple of smallish bookshelves with looks like mostly poetry and maybe books of collections of short stories, things like that.
Alright, if you're standing next to Killian, there's a very, very low, almost imperceptible hum. If you're standing close to him.
Why are you buzzing?
Oh, it's my armor.
Oh.
You still have it active, so it's sort of shifting.
Oh, the active not the active camo.
Okay.
But even if it's not active, if you're standing next to him and it's quiet, you just hear this low. It has yet to come up in the game, but essentially you hear the sort of sound you get if you're too close to like high voltage transformers, and it's just this really low like. You hear that.
That
If
is
you're close to him.
really creepy. Are you sure that's healthy?
It's healthy for me.
Like that pig.
Okay then.
About 3 minutes go by, and you start to hear footsteps coming back. 3 sets of them. 2 sets sound like they might be the dress shoes, like what the butler was wearing, and 1 is distinctly a pair of high heels. The doors open, and the butler sort of steps to the side and ushers in a pair of very well dressed halflings. Looks like they might have been dressed up for a dinner party. At this hour, it would not have been out of sorts for them to have been throwing a party at this point. But they step in. They sort of look at both of you, and key in on you, because at this point I'm assuming you're back in your official robes.
Yeah.
So they key in on you as the representative of the order. Our man here says that you've come to ask some questions about Dee and her disappearance.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry for the delay.
It's quite all right. We heard about that unfortunate business earlier today. I imagine all of you are somewhat busy with that.
They're strangely calm for people whose child disappeared.
Are you saying that?
Of
No,
course not.
no, that's player Danny.
Inside
Not
thoughts.
CB,
Right.
So
Actually, make me an insight check real quick.
that's a good idea. Okay, so that's 12. I think I have good insight. Plus 8, so unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Okay. They are all about keeping up appearances. Both of them. You can just read it on them. They're trying to remain calm. They're trying to look calm. But both of them are just like right on that very edge of losing it. The wife, in fact, you can tell that despite having made herself up for whatever is going on tonight, she's got that sort of puffy look under her eyes that she's been She's been crying, and there is a decided smell of there's a sort of this lingering scent of smelling salts about her, as though either she's got it on her in case she swoons, or she's had to have it used on her numerous times over the course of the day.
So I know that this is a really difficult thing to discuss.
The butler is closing the door as he walks out, and as soon as the door is closed, the wife goes over to one of the settees and just sort of all but collapses onto it. Thank God I don't have to keep that up anymore.
I'm sorry that you've had to for so long.
Have you found anything?
I have a little bit of information, but I am missing some that I think hopefully you can help me fill in some gaps with.
Her husband sort of walks over behind her and just puts a hand on her shoulder.
So we were told that there was a ransom note. Can you give us the details therein?
Yes. So he takes over and he says, "Yes, the ruffians have asked for nearly 1,000 gold in ransom, and they want it delivered to. Well, they want it delivered to the docks. Frankly, I tend not to go there myself. I've got interests there, obviously, as a merchant, but I'm loath to take it there myself. They ask for it to be delivered midday tomorrow.
Midday tomorrow.
When was the ransom note delivered?
It would have been whatever day you got the assignment,
So
which I
it's
think
today.
was this
today.
morning. Yeah,
today.
it was just this morning, in fact.
Oh, so I haven't been that far off. Okay. So the ransom is 1,000 gold by tomorrow.
Does 1,000 gold seem reasonable for the return of a lot? Like, I don't know if how to gauge that as like a lot or not as much as I would expect for a ransom.
It's a tidy sum for anyone in the lower or lower middle class. Where this family seems to be on the upper middle class, you're not real sure. It might be a little low. It might also be right on the money. It's hard to gauge, especially where this kind of thing is rare.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, but it's not noticeably like
Yeah.
insanely or like super low.
Yeah, it's not like super high. It's not super low. It's kind of hard to gauge where it is. She is not nobility. These are not nobles. If they were nobility, 1,000 gold would be way low.
Yeah.
But where they're sitting, sort of in the middle of the upper middle class, it might be a reasonable amount. It's kind of hard to tell.
How was the ransom note delivered?
It was delivered by messenger, if you can believe that. And by the time we realized what the note said, the messenger was gone. Yes, although he was with one of the regular messenger services, and I'm not sure he would have known much more than there was a note to be delivered.
Do you have the ransom note?
Yes, I've got it here somewhere. If you'll excuse me for just a moment, and he'll turn and walk out, and you can kind of hear his steps as he goes down the hallway a little bit. A couple of rooms down, you get a sense maybe it's his personal office or study, and then like a minute or two later, he comes back with it and hands it. Since you asked about it, he's going to hand it to you.
And Ken's just going to pull it and start reading through it.
It's a ransom note. It's got all the details that he laid out to you. 1,000 gold to a sort of a specific spot on the docks by noon tomorrow, and it's signed Lumfistveg. Lumfis.
hang on, Keith.
Yeah.
At least you knew as soon as you said it.
I knew exactly. It's LUMFIS. Second word, capital T apostrophe, capital V, E, G, G.
Is that a... I don't know a better way to put this than... Is this a clearly a particular ethnicity or racial type of name?
What
Germans.
what languages are you familiar with?
Killian
What can you speak?
speaks Common, Elven, Dwarven, and Arcanum.
It is none of those.
You should have brought me with you.
This goblin?
So if it is a particular
Right, it's not one I
ethnicity,
know.
it's not one.
Does the note say, like, is it just like, you know, we have your daughter bring the money to this place at this time? Is there like, is there any level of threat to it? Is it
doesn't
very
appear to be, no.
Is it just like really short to the point,
It's very short, very to the point.
punctuated properly?
Mm. Interesting, you should ask that. No, actually.
What is incorrect about it?
There's place. I mean, there's places where some of the words are.
Bad grammar.
So, no, that's the weird thing. The grammar is perfect. The spelling is perfect. And there are clearly places where punctuation should be and would fit where there's no punctuation.
So there's just no punctuation.
There's some, but there's places where there should be punctuation that it's not, but there's very clearly
Spaces are
spaces
there.
there. As though someone is used to writing correctly and putting punctuation and is just taking the time to not.
Okay, so if it's lined up differently,
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they need you.
like how is there a written version of this that we can see?
There's
It's
not,
really good.
unfortunately.
Okay.
I haven't had time to do that.
All good. So Keith,
Yes.
with my prowess of mental acuity, does Killian have any like a theory or a hunch of like why?
I don't know. Do you have a theory or a
Well,
hunch?
I do not. I'm just wondering if there would be something that Killian would be like able to put little things together and be like, oh, this is why you would write it this way.
No,
Finder seekers. This thing
No.
is there's not coding or puzzle.
No. Nothing like that.
Hmm.
So I'm going to.
Hmm.
What?
I ran that name through an anagram.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What'd you come up with?
Fugitives.
Okay, that is completely accidental.
I was like, oh, the name of the name, and I'm like, fugitives. Well, that's pretty on the nose.
That is completely coincidental. I didn't.
Awesome.
I'm just gonna say it. That was not my intention. But kudos for going that direction.
Oh,
I-
these can't.
I'm going to step
Yeah,
away
no,
from you
you're doing
guys, and we'll go with
our friend.
with our friend
Prowling,
here, as he is prowling, as Rain is prowling through. Where you headed?
Well, before I go anywhere, I'm gonna do something that I haven't had the chance to do yet, and my homunculus is going to be concentrating on detect magic.
Okay.
So he will be under my cloak, concentrating on detect magic. I will be keeping up invisibility, and we are headed towards the like a servant's quarters, if I can find one. I'm
Okay.
assuming that there is like the unseeable people that that's where I'm headed.
Okay. All right. So as far as the detect magic goes, he's not finding anything.
That's fine.
As you would expect, this deep into the
It would be very dangerous.
it would be
to keep
very
yourself,
dangerous to
especially
have stuff
in the
out in the open, in the capital. even if they were inclined to keep such things. So yeah, there's nothing like that. I understand he's going to be concentrating on it.
Yeah.
But through the course of this, you're not going to find anything. So you make your way into the servants' quarters. Now, they are on the ground. They're on a lower level, so it's like the first sort of sub level.
Right.
Down at one end is sort of the kitchen complex, where you sort of make your way down into are the servants' quarters. It's a small house, so it's not a huge staff. There's only three or four maids' rooms. There's the chief maid's the chief housekeeper's room. There's the butler's room, a couple of footmen, and sort of a lord's valet has a room down here. And it's all sort of, it's all the same hallway, although there is a divider between the ladies and the men's. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Downton Abbey.
I haven't, but I
if you haven't, I really don't have I'm not going to go that way, but think about the servants' quarters up in the attics.
Yeah.
Where it's a single hallway, but it's divided off so that the men and women don't mix or whatever.
Right.
Same kind of setup down here. So you've got that. You've got the pantry, the kitchens, the servants' hall, where they can take their meals out of sight, but still get up and listen. Do what they have to do to.
Okay, so
wait on.
wording is probably important. It was a lady's maid specifically that she was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is going to be the first place he's checking, is anywhere that the lady's maid might have been housed.
Okay. Well, it's on
because they didn't report her missing. To the best of my knowledge.
Not that we have heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
All right.
that they told me and the
But-
stuff.
Okay.
I don't know that they would have.
Yeah.
All right. So, make me an investigation check.
Man, I tested this dice. Oh wait, there's a player advantage, right?
There is a character advantage. Yes.
Okay, we're gonna use that. I tested this one and I rolled a 20, and I still rolled low when I actually needed it. I mean, I have a +9, but so like 11.
The +9?
With a +9
With
with
advantage?
advantage.
That's 13.
Oh, sorry, 13. Math is not my strong suit.
I mean, still.
Yeah,
Whew.
Jeez, Stephen.
I know. It's just the way I roll.
I mean, there's not that many rooms. It's not, it's not a very, it's not a maze or anything
Right.
like that. So it's not hard to find in the ladies' section of the servants' quarters which room you would think would be a lady's maid's room. In fact, there's two of them.
Okay.
So you've got the head housekeeper, and then the two rooms right in the next line are ladies' maids. One of them, you assume, the one closest to the housekeeper is the senior
mother.
ladies maid, which would be the mother.
Yep.
The next one in line would be her daughters.
Perfect. So we're gonna go in there and we're going to search
Okay.
for any connections, anything that might lead me to believe that she is working directly with whatever group
Okay.
kidnapped this girl.
Okay. So, a couple of things stand out as a little bit odd. The only clothes in the wardrobe are her maid uniforms.
Okay. So living off site, coming here and changing probably. Right.
I do want you to, and I will give you a choice on this one. If you want to if you just want to kind of get a sense of the room and just kind of let your senses wash over you, you can roll perception. If you would rather dig in and so open drawers, move things around, whatever, be more proactive with it, you can do investigation.
I think that's probably the direction I'm going, because my suspicion right now is that none of the other servants are probably directly involved.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that I've gone over everything for this room.
Okay. So make an investigation roll.
Okay, 20, unnatural.
That was the DC. So again, the uniforms are the only thing in her wardrobe. You're not seeing a whole lot of personal effects,
Which is suspicious to begin
which
with.
is a little odd. And then you sort of start to try and get into the head of the lady is maid to a 19-year-old girl. And if you wanted to keep something out of sight, you'd probably put it under the mattress, and you lift up the mattress.
Playboys.
Oh no!
You're not far wrong.
It's all it tells us stuff.
Is it Dragon Cult?
It is Dragon Cult pamphlets.
Oh jeez. Okay.
I will take 1 or 2 of those. I will also do some checking
there-
quietly up for false bottoms to drawers and things like that.
You're not finding any of those. On just about all of the pamphlets, I will say, on just about all of the pamphlets you find, there are near the illustrations that are incredibly explicit. There are the sort of teenager doodle hearts kind of things.
Alright, and I'll try to set everything back the way I left. Alright, got it. And then I will... actually, is there a way that this room would be closed off, like a curtain or anything that would close this off from, say, the other ladies' rooms?
Well, I mean, it's got its own door.
Oh, okay, so it's a full door.
Yeah,
Not
it's a
just
full
like
door.
a curtain.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I'm assuming that is shut, or was shut to begin with?
It was shut to begin with.
Okay, it is shut now, and I'm going to go ahead and drop invisibility and recast it.
Okay.
So that I have another full hour. And then I'm probably going to go check out... I'm going to go looking for this girl's room.
Okay. All right. So you're pretty sure it's not going to be on the main floor.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty sure it's not going to be on the main floor, or the first floor. You're going to have to go up to the second. Make me an investigation check to find it.
What is that? 17?
17. Okay. Easy enough.
Is that right?
It's not a huge upper floor. It's not a mansion by any means, but it is a nicer home. There's the stairwell, or the main stairs lead up to a central landing, and that leads sort of right into the master suite. And on either side, it appears that there might be a wing of rooms. One would be for male guests. You haven't seen anything that indicates they've got a son in the house, so you don't think there's a boys' room or anything like that. The other one would be for female guests and the other female member of the house, which would be Dee's room. So it's just a matter of figuring out which door along that hallway is the one, and doesn't take you long to find one that doesn't have the look of a guest room, but one that has been lived in. And you step into Dee's bedroom.
I'm starting under the mattress.
So, under the mattress, you do find some of the pamphlets, but it is also clear that they have been wadded up and crumpled up, and then pulled out, smoothed out before being hidden.
Okay. Do these have any writing on them?
No.
Ones? Okay.
None.
Okay, I will take one of those as well.
Okay.
And then I'll check the rest of the room for, especially if she has a writing desk.
She does.
I would be checking writing desks. If there are stacks of paper, I'm going to check whatever the top paper is that is not written on, and actually just take it, so that I can run charcoal on it to
Okay.
see if there's any impression from things that were written before.
So there is a stack of paper, but it's in the drawer. So there's nothing like on the desk.
Gotcha.
You get a sense that probably if she had done any writing, she would have
Pulled it out.
taken a sheet at a time to write on, rather than having the whole stack there and pushing through.
Right.
But it's worth a shot. You might find something that you're not expecting to after seeing that setup.
Right.
Was there anything else specifically that you were looking for?
Is there any other like correspondence that she might have there?
Yes, actually.
From her young beau, probably.
Yes, it is very clear that he has been writing her, and that that the two are close, or at least the tone of his letters is that he has feeling for her.
Right.
Obviously, you don't have her responses,
Right.
but it seems very clear she's kept, a good thick stack of
Like
letters.
they're
She did not
Yeah.
crumple them up or
Yeah.
throw them away.
Right.
Or
Quick scan of the room. Still nothing magical. I'm assuming.
No.
Okay. Then that's probably. I mean, I'll do a quick cursory check on everything else.
Okay.
But if nothing else stands out, then I'll go over to any window I can find, and then I will third level Misty Step down to ground level, and then go knock on the front door, dropping invisibility.
Okay. So there is, I mean, there are grounds around this house. So, and a wall around the perimeter. So you're not going to be able to get all the way to the street, but you can at least get to the grounds down beside the house. Easy enough, though.
Yeah.
You're on
Once
the,
you're on the
you're on,
outside.
you're only on the second floor, so that's well within 30 feet.
Okay.
Easy,
Perfect.
easy enough to do. You go knock on the door. After a few moments, the door opens and you recognize the butler. May I help you, sir?
Yes, excuse me. I believe two of my associates are here already. I was running a little late with my investigation. If I could be permitted to speak with them and your masters on the case of young D.
Are you also with the order then?
Indirectly, a third-party contractor.
Ah.
This case is very important to them.
Very good, sir. If you'll
concerned
follow
third
me.
party.
If you'll follow me.
Thank you.
And he'll close the door behind you and then leads you into the sitting room, where we will come back to you guys. What have you been doing in the meantime while he's been doing all of that?
So, I probably would have asked. About the maid, and just like, did you notice a maid gone missing as well?
Yes, actually, our daughter's lady's maid was with her at the business meeting that we set up. As was only proper, she could act as a chaperone for our daughter and the young man she was meeting, and we didn't see any problem with that. Apparently, she has been abducted as well, and has certainly not come back to the house since our daughter went missing.
Where did you find your lady's maid?
Well, she was actually sent to us by one of the I forget what. So Keith is forgetting the word. One of the agencies that provides ladies' maids. It was all very
Agency was
proper and
that?
above board. Angel's Hands, I believe, was the name of it. We've always had good luck with them. My wife's lady's maid was employed through them.
Interesting.
What was the purpose of the business meeting that she was attending?
It was it was a business deal between our family and the Nadirs. They had a fascinating proposal regarding the breeding of what was it, dear? Fireproof sheep. With the advent of dragons and fire-breathing monsters about, we felt it was time, or they felt it was time to perhaps come up with some way to create cloths that could resist fire.
So you are going to be able to tell, because you've known Killian for long enough, that the tone of his voice changes. He goes, "Oh, really?
Indeed.
Huh. Fire breathing. Huh. You know,
Fire resistant. Two very different things.
Fire-breathing cloth. There's a very different thing than fire-resistant cloth.
this is the Nadir family, you say?"
Indeed, yes. They were looking
Interesting.
for funding to fund their breeding program and research, and we felt that being given exclusive rights to process the wool that came from such animals might turn a pretty profit.
You have known Killian long enough to know if you don't intervene, this entire conversation is about to get sidetracked.
Before you ask further questions about that, which I feel like should happen later.
Right. Good point. Excellent point.
I love that little breadcrumb hit exactly where I was hoping it would.
Really?
Wait a second. So, how long has this lady's maid been with you?
About 6 months.
So not a very long standing.
No, not a very long time, but she and my daughter hit it off very well. They've become fast friends, and she works well, does her job, doesn't complain. We have no problem
What
for
is-
any complaints.
Lance cannot remember. Do we already know the name of the lady's maid?
Nope.
Didn't she say it in your...
Thea?
Thea.
Yeah. What's the name of the lady's maid?
Thea.
Do you know a family name or anything such?
Unfortunately, no. That was not provided.
All right.
I get the impression that she doesn't have much in the way of family history to rely upon, which is another reason why we were happy to take her on and help perhaps lift her out of some of that.
I'm sure this has already been asked to you before, but do you know anyone who would have reason to want to kidnap your daughter and ransom her to you? Business rivals, bad deals?
I mean, you can't be in business as long as we have and not have some business rivals, but
Any that would,
None.
would resort to...
none that I can think of that would resort to this. This is extreme for a business deal, and quite frankly, would open up all kinds of repercussions for retaliation. None of us in any business want that sort of collateral damage being done. It's uncivilized.
Bad business.
It's bad for business, indeed.
Could you...
About this
explain-
time, there's a knock on the door, and the butler opens the door. You can see he's struggling against saying "my lord" and "my lady" because they don't
Yeah.
rate that, but he also doesn't want to just say "sir" and "madam." It's like, this gentleman says he is with you, and he's going to
yes.
usher
Nice of you to
usher
join us.
Rain in,
Thank you. I apologize for my lateness.
and then he's going to bow himself out.
So, there were some descriptions given of some of the people that we think might be related to the abduction. Are you aware of any groups of people in town that might have particularly distinctive hand tattoos?
None. So he starts to speak. None that I can think, and his wife interrupts. There was that young man who came to visit Thea. And you can tell that this catches him completely off guard,
Right.
completely by
He
surprise.
has no idea.
He has no idea that this has happened. When was this? Oh, about a month ago. Did I not say anything? No. Oh, it's because it wound up being nothing. He he came to see Thea. There was a heated discussion, and she all but threw him out before I was even aware he was on the grounds. Our man here, he made sure to escort him, and she sort of gestures where the butler is gone. Made sure to escort him out of the gates before I was even aware he was here. I only heard about it after the fact.
You don't. So I assume then you don't know any of the details about.
No, I don't know any of the details. I wasn't present for it. All I know is that our man said he did have a distinctive tattoo. I believe she said right hand.
Could we speak with him, please?
Certainly, and she'll sort of
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
ring a little bell. Use it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, these fine folks have questions for you. How may I be of service?
We understand that there was about a month ago a young man here. There was an altercation between him and a lady's maid. He had a distinctive tattoo on his hand.
Yes, very, very distasteful. It struck me as a bit of a ruffian, that one.
Do you know any of the details of why he was visiting, what caused an argument?
I'm not privy to those things. I merely heard raised voices in the servants' quarters. When I went to investigate, the young lady was clearly in distress and did not wish to have her gentleman called her around anymore. I escorted him from the property.
What I was actually more interested in was specifically the tattoo. Do you remember any details? Anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah, I do remember it was quite distinctive. It was one of those, what are they calling them?
Dragons.
Yes.
Yep.
Man with the dragon tattoo.
Interesting.
Thank you, Nate.
Thank you. That actually clears up my only question.
I think we have ideas for where to look.
How comfortable, to the lord and lady, how
Mhm.
comfortable do you feel speaking about your family matters in front of your servant here?
I suppose that would depend upon precisely what matters we're discussing.
I don't know how much information you've shared with your staff.
They are aware that Miss D and her lady's maid are missing. They are aware that there has been a demand for money made.
Are you planning on paying the ransom?
I suppose that depends upon whether you think you can find her in time. There
We
was
should
no
attempt.
threat, but I can't help but feel that if we don't follow through or rescue her before the deadline, something terrible might happen.
I think it's worth at least carrying on as though the ransom would be paid.
Yes. Having I believe that it would probably be prudent for us to continue searching in the hopes that we can eliminate the need for a meeting regarding the ransom at all. But we need to have a plan in place for if we've not found them by then. Perhaps we can kind of corner the people that show up. There might be some ways to negotiate that.
I guess so along those lines, the strongest lead that we have currently would be to try and follow any ransom payment and to apprehend anyone involved in collecting a ransom payment. However, this would potentially carry an inherent risk for your daughter, as if they are at all competent in what they're proposing to do, I would assume that they have safeguards in place for that. How comfortable are you with us taking such a risk and attempting to apprehend the individuals involved?
In addition to the other measures that are currently being taken.
Yes, I do have
Yes.
some ideas. For,
There are lots of other. We will track
Yes.
down every lead, but with only half a day.
we need to have.
I don't think we can guarantee that we will find her within that time frame.
We want her back, and we want her back safely.
Mhm.
If that means parting with some gold, then that's what we do.
if we were to attempt to apprehend the people involved in the ransom, it is possible that they would resort to threatening or taking violent action against your daughter. I understand if you are not comfortable with us attempting to intervene in a ransom drop. I want your permission before we make any steps, but that is the
How-
most solid lead we have on where
How
to track them down.
confident are you that you can extract her from whatever situation she finds herself in?
Depends on the situation
Yeah,
we find.
To be perfectly honest, not knowing exactly, I mean, he's gonna sort of gesture to the ransom note. This is not clearly. This is not the work of a known criminal enterprise. At least not that we're aware of. So, not knowing the capabilities or the motivations behind them, I can't say for certain. Our group, our skill set that we have access to is broad enough that I am confident that we could safely extract her if we knew where she was, but I have no way of knowing how these people are going to respond if things don't go exactly according to their plan. Again, I don't want to make a move that you would be uncomfortable with, given that this is potentially the life of your daughter that hangs in the balance. I will also point out, however, that paying a ransom does not guarantee that you will receive your daughter back safely. It is just as possible that they will dispose of her after they have received the money.
I've been in business, and before that I did serve a turn in the Empress's army. And you see his hand
see
sort of
go
is
up,
like,
And then decide not to.
I know there are no guarantees, regardless. And he sort of, his wife sort of shudders and starts. You can see her start to tear up and start to. She's not like sobbing, but you can see that she's starting to. Tears are starting to fall. So he's got a hand on her shoulder to comfort her. It's a matter of risk. As you say, we don't know all the factors. All we know is money has been demanded. And the implicit bargain is that the money is for my daughter's life and Thea's. I have nothing more to go on. If it comes down to having to pay the ransom, I have to, knowing that there's no guarantee, I have to trust that these people, whoever they are, will hold to their word. It's a risk. It's a leap of faith. I'm not sure I have anything else.
We'll do our very best to keep you from having to make that leap.
That is all I can ask of you, and while it pains me to say this, should the unthinkable happen and you are unable, know that I will not hold you personally liable, nor the order for what has happened.
May I make one more request? Does your daughter have any personal effects, things that would be something that she would rarely be parted with, that you have access to here? It would help as a distinguishing factor for those of us who are unfamiliar with your daughter if there was something that we could use as an identifier for her.
By definition, if she would not be parted with it, it would not
but
be here.
rarely be parted. Something she might keep at
that
home.
would be distinctive enough that if we were able to present it,
To her,
she would be able to
clear.
recognize clearly what it was.
Okay.
Like a journal or something
A
of that effect.
keepsake.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Oh.
Good man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, though, Jasmine? Her journal? She's been pressing his flowers into it recently. Yes.
I can also guarantee its secrecy. We will not open the diary. That will not be necessary for our investigation.
We thank you. Jeeves, if you would, please. Yes, sir. And the butler turns and walks out, and you hear his footsteps going the direction you now know is the stairway to the upper floor. He's gone for about 3 minutes and comes back, and he's holding a little leather bound journal. It is closed. It has a metal clasp on it with a little, one of those little cheap
Yep.
locket locks
Does it
on
have
it.
Does it have the actual key hanging next to it?
No, actually, it does not. She is smart enough to have taken the key out of the lock, but it's same idea.
There's
no
several people in the party who can open it. That's not a problem.
And he will actually hand it to Jasmine, her mother, who will then bring it over. And again, since you asked for it, she's going to hand it to you.
I will gesture. Sorry, I'm a third party.
We are third-party contractors on this.
Well,
Thoroughly dedicated.
you've been thoroughly thorough with your questions, and I hope that this helps.
We will do our best to ensure that things are brought to a resolution we can all live with.
If you'll excuse me, I think I'm going to not even go back to our dinner party and just turn in for the evening.
Rest.
And she'll run her hands on her husband's shoulder and turn and walk from the room. He watches her go for a long moment, and then he turns back to you and says, "I'm not sure what much else I can tell you. If you can think of anything else to ask, I'll be happy to answer, but I feel as though I've given you more like I had."
Has Jeeves left the room as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as Jasmine left, he
with
stepped out.
her having
and
stepped out, I'm actually going to look at Steve. Could you give us, actually, well, you're probably fine. Could you give us a quick moment alone with the gentleman here?
Okay.
I have no
Thank
idea what's
you.
going on, but
Yeah, I was like,
So after she steps out, I'm going to look at the gentleman. I have come from a business background myself, and having dealt with many people involved in our trade, unofficially,
Mm-hmm.
I assume you have not been involved in any less than legitimate or skirting the line in deals or anything in the last, just between us, just so we know where to look. I understand that potentially not wanting to share that in front of the law but as third-party contractors.
Not since Dee was born.
All right.
understood.
I assume that anything before then would no longer be relevant to the people involved.
No.
All right.
I left that line of very lucrative work on good terms. On my own terms, and with no doubt I would not be coming back.
All right. Understood. Just wanted to make sure that we were able to, just so we knew we'd covered our bases.
And it makes a difference.
Are you a family man?
I'm not sure in what context you mean that.
Oh,
Do I have a family?
right.
No, I do not.
There are certain things you might be willing to do before children that you would
not,
never
no.
do after.
Absolutely. I just wanted to be clear and not put you in the uncomfortable position of having to answer those in front of the law.
I thank you, sir.
So, we'll let you know as soon as we find anything.
We've also had our backgrounds, which I think gives us and our party a particular edge in these cases. Though all of us have also turned our lives around, so it does give us a little bit of an edge on those who might otherwise evade the law.
Sometimes the best law keepers are the former lawbreakers. I trust that you will do what needs to be done.
Thank you for your time. And then we'll just step out.
So he will follow after you, and as you know, watch as Jeeves sort of escorts you out the door. And if any of you turn and look back, you will see that he is sort of just standing there staring off into nothing, clearly contemplating what might be about to befall his family.
to the two of you, if it's all right, I would like to make a quick jaunt over. I would just like to, from the air, take a quick look and make sure that there's not already a trap set at the drop-off location.
I agree, but I think first we should round up the rest of the crew.
Oh, I can meet you back there shortly. I don't plan on landing. I'll go invisibly and just check it out from the air.
Well, some of the other members of our party may know where to look for any traps that have been laid. So, I mean, you can do what you want, but it might be easier.
I would rather
if
us
we
just not
go.
be seen approaching that area if it is at all possible.
That's fair.
That makes sense.
Additionally, before I go, he'll hand you both pamphlets that he pulled out. This one from the lady's maid. This one from her mistress. It is pretty clear to me that we are dealing with Dragon Cult members, and it would not surprise me if the Dragon Cult is trying to drum up funds for one reason or another.
Do you think they grabbed the daughter by accident?
I don't, actually.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That seems too convenient.
Now, I'm not sure how the maid has gotten tangled up into this. Like, it seems like she is intentionally keeping the girl away from the knowledge that she has been kidnapped. But whether that's because she is a part of the original scheme, or if she has gotten tied up into it against her own will, or something to that effect, it's hard to tell.
Also, I am not and have never been a teenage girl. He's gonna hold up the one from her and look at you. I don't know that you're gonna have much more insight than I am, but a crumpling it up and then smoothing it,
Or picking it up from somebody else who had crumpled it up.
Right. I am not
Potentially
sure
her
what to
father.
make of that.
I don't know that I am the right person to try and figure that out, but I can think about it. I feel like our Dragonborn friend might have suddenly become incredibly useful to us, though.
Mhm.
Potentially.
Lyra might also have more insight.
That's fair. He's gonna hold up the other one. Because this one, I clearly understand what's going on. This one, less clear what's happening here.
I mean,
Yes.
the options that I could see would be 1, she picked it up after somebody else discarded it. 2, she picked it up and was trying to quickly stuff it into a pocket where it could not be seen because she, as a lady of some renown, could not be seen with it. Or, and I suppose this is, in this case, probably the least likely, she was given it and was undecided how she would, so, a process of
Right.
crumpling it up, throwing it away, pulling it back out, putting it under the bed.
Weird.
Which, both of these, under mattresses, in both cases.
It's always the first place people go to hide things. It's also the worst place to hide their things.
At least hide it inside the mattress. Anyway, I actually will likely beat both of you back to to Castian's place.
Alright, well, we'll see you there.
Okay, invisibility, and I'm going to 60 feet or whatever per
Wait,
6 seconds.
invisibility and what?
Flying. So
How are
I
you
fly.
flying?
I have a fly speed from my magic item
Oh, cool.
of 60 per whatever.
Okay. We will come back to all three of you because I want to circle back around
Yep.
to those of us that were left at the shop.
As the shop gets ready.
Almost like a drone, I have just been processing this ink.
Okay, so he's processing the ink. Akerai is standing there, sort of watching you. He's not saying anything. But he's watching you as you work, and he's got this sort of unreadable expression on his face. Not that you're paying attention to it. You are head down in your work. You watch Akerai watch him, and he's got this sort of just like blank look as he's watching this whole process. What are you doing?
Making coffee.
Okay.
Because it's a late night.
Okay.
You can technically just ask for it,
Yeah.
and it will be brought to you.
You don't understand. You have to make it.
That's fair enough. There is a
Part of the
kitchen. There is a
ritual.
kitchen.
He
So.
does not
You
trust
need
invisible
the
people.
aroma.
Yeah.
Damn it, Killian. I'm actually contemplating not killing them now. Because they are just doing a job.
Because they're just doing their job.
Trying to make, what little money they can.
Yep. We've humanized them.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Bastard. So I'm seriously contemplating not killing them now.
Okay.
I might make life a little bit miserable for them. How far apart are they from each other?
So there's like 10 feet between their stalls. And each of them, the stalls are then another 5 feet or so wide, and they're on the opposite sides of them. So 20, 25 feet apart.
Okay. I'm tempted to make it rain on them.
You want me to land on them?
Just because. Okay. So no. In the meantime, though, I am making my own sign, preparing for the morning sale.
Okay.
Now that I have competition,
Okay.
and I'm getting all that nice and fancy and stuff like that. And I'm
Okay.
gonna put it in the window.
Make me what are you making it out of? What materials are you using to make your sign?
It's mostly just fancy paper and
Okay.
like paints. So.
Fancy paints
Yeah.
and paper. Just what is the sign going to say?
I'm glad you asked that.
20% off.
You know the name. Now own the original. No cheap knockoff guaranteed. Buy one, get one third of the price.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Bravo.
Hey, take an inspiration today.
I will let you roll persuasion with advantage.
Yeah.
That's very good, Nate. Well done.
Yeah, I am
I love the way the little
proficient.
trade war.
So I can get no less than 21.
Oh, holy crap!
Yep, because of
Do you have expertise on persuasion?
Persuasion, yes I do.
Okay, I was going to say there is a
an expertise out on the
temporary expertise on the table, but you
Yeah.
already have it. So
Yeah, that's a 25.
25. All
That's 'cause
right.
you get an automatic 11, right?
Automatic 10. That's
Automatic
9, 9 or
Okay.
below.
All right. Well, I will bank that for you for the next session.
Okay.
This is essentially an automatic 21.
For the next morning when you open up the shop.
Possibly
And it will be inside the shop so they can't vandalize it.
Right, exactly. But I'll bank that for you because I think we are about at a point for the end of the night with that. You obviously something comes over you
Mm-hmm.
and you are able to process the entire batch of ink into something that is going to be usable for you. Akerai, again, watches you, this sort of blank, unreadable expression, all night. He doesn't offer to help. He doesn't offer any pointers or observations or anything. He is actually fairly quiet. I mean, you haven't known him that long, but when you, you have actually. But
I've known him
he's-
in passing.
You've known
a
him in
long time.
passing, but you haven't been like in around him that much until recently. But even at that, you've noticed that he's not prone to silence. If he has something to say, he'll say it, and he is not saying anything at all.
Can I figure out why?
You are paying entirely too much attention to what you are doing.
Did you offer him coffee?
He'll take it and drink it. Thank you. But most of his attention is on what's going on
Yep.
here. As though I will let you make an insight check.
Insight.
Castian's like, oh, I've seen this before. He's trying to decide if he kills you or not.
I am
I have
proficient.
this
I go
all the
through
time.
this every day.
Every time I say kill you.
Right?
the same
Yeah.
thing.
Are you worth the risk?
17.
17? It's hard to tell because he is sort of schooled in the ways of keeping his emotions close. But Akerai knows something or suspects something. and he's just watching for confirmation. And that's where we're going to cut it off for the night.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. We will let you guys know what the schedule is for next week via our Discord server. So if you haven't already, be sure you tune into that and log in and be a member. There is a channel that has all of our upcoming plans for broadcasting on it. Be sure you're checking that. You'll always know what's going on when. After the fact, if you want to go back and rewatch stuff, you need to go to our YouTube channel. You can go out to YouTube, search for Casual Cactus, Casual with a C, Cactus with a K, or you can use that little QR code there and the link. You'll find, once you get out there, all of the video content we've ever created, all of the full-length episodes for this campaign, our previous campaign, which was a run through the Tomb of Annihilation, some other campaigns that have been run by other people. Danny is running one currently. Lance is running one currently. Braden is running one currently. All of those videos will wind up on our YouTube channel. So be sure that you go out there, hit like and subscribe, turn on the notifications, and you'll always know when we put new content out there. There's a lot. I won't even lie to you and say there's not, but if you want to go out and wade through it, you are more than happy.
Yes,
more
you are.
than you are more than welcome to do so.
The short end of the sword.
We are going to call it here for tonight, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back and see us on our next one.
Try and raid Neo if you can.
And let's see what I can do about raiding out of here as we go. But before we do, just got to do this little thing here. Remember,
Grab your bats and grab your balls.
and if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a glass house. Good night, everybody.